in Tampa, and it's been an extended stay in Florida for the Raiders. For more on that, we send it down to Chris Fisher.
Yes, it has, Andrew. Instead of crisscrossing the country following their victory last week at Jacksonville, the Raiders elected to stay just an hour away from here in Bradenton at IMG Academy. Practicing there, and head coach Jack Del Rio said he wanted a normal week of game preparation. But in the process, he noticed it was a team bonding and building experience. Raiders left tackle and former Buccaneer Donald Penn commented at night he'd look into rooms, and instead of seeing guys out, they were breaking down tape, completely concentrated on today's game. Andrew?
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Oakland has won the coin toss, and they have deferred, so Tampa Bay will start with the football. 86 degrees, but it is breezy. 15 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. It was very windy in this area throughout the week. We were at Buccaneers practice on Friday, and Jameis Winston, admittedly afterwards, struggled throwing into the wind. Jack Del Rio, in his second year, was up in Jacksonville yesterday to see his son Luke lead the Florida Gators to a win over Georgia. And on the other sideline, a man he knows very well, Dirk Cutter, who was the offensive coordinator for 5 years in Jacksonville under Jack Del Rio. This will be a touchback for Sebastian Janikowski, and Tampa Bay will start at the 25-yard line. Jameis Winston, in his second year out of Florida State, 34 career touchdown passes. That is the most by a Tampa QB through their first 22 games.
And developing very nicely as a quarterback. He still does a lot of young quarterback things, makes some mistakes, forces the ball into coverage a little bit too much, but boy, he's doing a lot of really good things that have this organization very excited as well.
Jacquizz Rodgers makes his third straight start. Doug Martin remains out with a hamstring injury for Tampa Bay. And on 1st and 10, it is Rodgers who has pushed back Perry Riley Jr. getting behind the line of scrimmage to make that tackle. As we take a look at the starting offense for the Buccaneers, Joe Hawley, the center, questionable with an ankle injury, but he did practice fully on Friday, and he gets the start, and it will be a lot of Jacquizz Rodgers today.
Yeah, what a pleasant surprise he has been. You know, last week, rushing for 154 games, carrying the ball 26 times. This guy really has made an impact on this team.
He lost one on 1st down, so it's 2nd down and 11. Winston's first pass of the day is incomplete. Over the middle and intended for Cecil Shorts. It's broken up by Sean Smith, who's a little slow to get up.
He fell on his left shoulder, and you can tell there he's having a hard time even moving his arm. And watch, he's going to come in with his left arm and right. Oh, wow, yeah, that's his upper arm got jammed into his shoulder socket.
Smith is down. We'll be back to Tampa in a moment. Sean Smith being looked at on the Raiders sideline. He has good size at 6'3" and was expected to cover Mike Evans a lot today, who is 6'5". Coming into the game is TJ Carey, who is 6 feet tall. On 3rd down and 11. Winston looking outside, and it's caught by Mike Evans for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
Yeah, they went right at TJ Carey coming in off the bench. Wanted to see if he could get it done. It's just a nice little out route, and that's timed perfectly. He's being guarded there by David Amerson, who for the Raiders has been one of the consistent bright spots. You can bet that that's the adjustment that the Raiders have made. Amerson, the starting corner, is going to try and follow Evans around now.
On 1st and 10, Winston looking to go back to the air. Dumps it down low, and it's caught by and then dropped by Cameron Brate. Had it and lost it. It's 2nd down as we take a look at the Oakland starting defense. And Stacey McGee is injured with an ankle today. He will not play. Darius Latham takes his spot up front. Bruce Irvin leads the NFL with 4 forced fumbles. It was David Amerson on the coverage on that Mike Evans 1st down.
Yeah, he has been a consistent player for them in a year where their defense has looked bad. He has not. He's played very well, but today he's up against it, manning up on a 6'5", 230-pound Mike Evans.
They pitch it, and it's Anton Smith trying the left side and shoved out by DJ Hayden. It brings up 3rd down for Tampa Bay.
Anton Smith was the guy that stepped up last week with a few plays too. Got a nice screen pass that went for about 40 yards against the 49ers. He's a guy that they didn't really have any expectations of coming in and being an impact guy. Just picked him up recently, and he's already making his presence felt.
Just his second game with Tampa Bay. It brings up 3rd down and 4 with Jaquiz Rodgers next to Winston. Pressure coming from Mack. Winston chased out by Autry now. Jameis will keep it. Flag is down. Winston into Oakland territory inside the 40-yard line, but we do have our first penalty of the day.
Holding offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
The referee today, Terry McCauley, and that's the 3rd holding penalty this year against the left tackle, Donovan Smith.
Well, this is going to be against Khalil Mack right here as Mack tries to get out as Winston leaves. You can see he just got wrapped around. And Smith just put the old bear hug on Khalil Mack. The officials saw it was an easy call.
Khalil Mack, you talk about stats, and he has had 3 sacks in the last 4 games, but there's a lot of ways to measure impact when you're watching a football game. Right there, getting that left tackle, Donovan Smith, on his heel.
Wipes out a 19-yard run. 3rd and 14. Winston again on the run, and he's just going to keep it, and he's down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, this is where the young quarterbacks, we've seen it a lot this year. Jameis Winston, he's running around trying to make something happen, and he's very good. And the thing you like about him, he keeps his, look at his eyes. He never takes them off. He's going to run if he needs to, but he buys time. The problem is, sooner or later, you're going to cough that ball up. You got to tuck it away, and it's very dangerous to be running around like that with all those guys chasing you. That ball's going to pop out, and that's what the Raider defense is good at.
17 straight drives for Tampa Bay without an opening drive touchdown. That's the 2nd longest streak in the NFL behind the Jaguars as Anger punched this one out of bounds. And Oakland will have the football for the first time when we come back. Scoreless between the Raiders and Buccaneers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Casa Modelo. Quality beer since 1925.
Back in Tampa, 11:43 to go, first quarter between the Raiders and the Buccaneers. The first quarter this year has treated the Raiders well. A plus 24 point differential. Tampa Bay has struggled in the first quarter, minus 22 in point differential. Carr looking to throw on first down. Completes it to Cooper at the 20. Stiff arm to the 24-yard line. And it will be 2nd and short for Oakland. Darryl Smith on the tackle. Derek Carr has thrown a touchdown pass in 13 straight games. That is the 3rd longest active streak behind Andrew Luck and Aaron Rodgers.
And he just keeps getting better and better. Everybody in the league's talking about the progress Derek Carr has made.
Carr to Cooper gets 8 yards on first down. So 2nd and 2 with Latavius Murray at running back next to Carr. Carr back to the air to Crabtree. Trying to break free, lunges forward close to the sticks, and we'll see where they mark it. Chris Conti on the tackle. As we look at the Raiders offense in a moment, there is a penalty flag down right near the tackle.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, offense number 15. The foul occurred after the play, the down count, half the distance to the goal. That is number 15's first foul that can lead toward disqualification.
So Michael Crabtree called for the penalty on what was a 1-yard completion.
Stuck it right in his face.
And that's a good call.
Yeah, Conti held on a little too long to his hand, to his foot, and Crabtree didn't like it and stuffed the ball in his face, and that's a penalty, and it's an easy call. One of the things we spoke about in the open is the Raiders are the most penalized team in the league. Those are easy to avoid. You can't put yourself in a hole like that. It just comes back to haunt you later on. That's a huge mistake on a down where the Raiders had a 3rd and very short. Now it's 3rd and 13.
Carr, quick slant. It's juggled and incomplete. Seth Roberts, the intended receiver. And the Raiders, because of that penalty, are forced to send the punt team out.
Almost a circus catch by Seth Roberts on this one. He got his left hand back there, almost pulled this thing in. You can see almost pinned it against his body. Not one of Derek Carr's best throws, but you nailed it, Steve Tasker. That penalty was a backbreaker. Field position is affected significantly by this as well. Now punting out of the end zone.
Marquette King, the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, who has the most punts of 50 or more yards in the NFL this year. Trying to boom this one, and he does. Driving Adam Humphries back to the 20. He's got some room to run. To the 30. Humphries cuts back at the 35 and spun down at the 38, but there is a flag, 2 flags, one at the line of scrimmage and one at the 33-yard line. A 67-yard punt by Marquette King.
Marquette King is an absolute
During the
force.
kick, holding, receiving team number 53. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Penalty on Darius Glanton of Tampa Bay. Timeout on the field. Screening saves lives in the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. And yesterday, our very own Chris Fisher participated in the Buccaneers 5K to kick off its involvement in the NFL-wide breast cancer awareness activities. The event has helped raise more than $140,000 towards breast cancer awareness and patient services over the past 4 years. Because of the penalty, Tampa Bay backed up inside its own 10 to start this drive with Jaquiz Rogers, and he is taken down by T.J. Carey. Let's go down to Chris Fisher.
Thanks, Andrew. We saw cornerback for the Raiders, Sean Smith, come out of the game on the last defensive series, but also the team physicians have been working on his left shoulder blade area. They've applied heat, they've massaged it, and he even just tried doing push-ups on the field, but it's not working out. Right now he's conferring with team physicians to see if he can get back in this game, Andrew.
All right, Chris, we'll keep an eye on that. It was Rodgers again on second down. Tackle made by Danico Autry. So another third down situation for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And one of the things that the Raiders have been very good defensively this year is that third down situation. But that injury to Sean Smith is significant. Steve Tasker and I both looked at each other with the way he fell on that left arm. We both felt that that's going to be something tough to come back from, especially for a corner who's wrestling with those receivers so much on the outside.
3rd and 3. Winston looking for Evans again. Goes up and makes the catch. Mike Evans with an 18-yard pickup. First down, Tampa Bay. He made the catch over David Amerson.
Well, this is the second third down situation. The Raiders have decided to go man up on Mike Evans, and at some point they're going to realize what a luxury to have a 6'5" wide receiver that can get up and get that ball. Jameis Winston's not even afraid of David Amerson get up there to make a play on that thing. Super job by Jameis Winston and Mike Evans.
It's another point where they could miss Sean Smith because of his height. He's 6'3", and Sean Smith, we're told, is now going into the Raiders locker room. 1st and 10. Winston in trouble, chased by Mack, and just throws this one away.
There's a flag on the far side of the field. This is going to go against the Raiders as well.
Holding, defense number 29.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Already that Mike Evans matchup is spelling trouble for the Raiders. Amerson's having a hard time keeping up with him. Evans is just so big, and you see there the double move, and that's a hold. You can't let Amerson didn't want to let him get up the sidelines, and the officials saw it. This is going to be an issue that's going to be ongoing through this football game.
It's Rodgers up the middle to the 45, still going, pushing those legs forward to the 49-yard line. Jaquiz Rogers picks up 9.
Really cool design in this play. Watch how Jameis Winston fakes a pass out to the outside, and then that draws a little bit of separation. That Raiders defense expands a little bit, and that gives Jaquiz Rogers the seam right up on the inside. A nice pickup on first down.
That's great block by Stalker, the tight end, down inside on the hesitation. Great design.
We met with Rodgers on Friday. He said, I'd much rather run between the tackles than go outside. He loves contact. He gets it again here and cuts it back for a first down. Jaquiz Rogers Into Oakland territory, a gain of 12. Carl Joseph on the tackle.
Excuse me, Andrew. One of the things about a back who is only 5'6", we said 5'6", he said no, 5'7". They are really powerful. A guy he weighs over 200 pounds, he can jump cut, and he's hard to find in all that traffic.
No huddle for Tampa Bay. Back on the ground with Rodgers trying the left side. And the Raiders do a good job to slow down Rodgers on that first down play. And really, you look at Tampa Bay and their turnaround the last couple of weeks. It's a credit to Dirk Cutter committing to the run. First 4 games, they were throwing it a lot more, but the last 2 games with Jaquiz Rodgers, they've averaged 181 yards per game on the ground.
And Jack Del Rio told us he's never seen Dirk Cutter so committed to the run game as he's been the last couple of weeks.
Flag is down. Quick pass to Humphries in some space, and he gets to the 30-yard line.
This is going to be an illegal shift. The Bucs didn't quite get set and shifted exactly the way they should have.
Illegal shift, offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap, did not reset. 5-yard penalty, second down.
But yeah, Dirk Cutter, I mean, you know, when you start preparing for this, you see these 2 coaching staffs. Man, there's a lot of guys who know a lot about each other. They've all coached together. Cutter and Del Rio were on the staff together. Mike Smith was with Del Rio for a bunch of years, the defensive coordinator for the Bucs. They know each other really well, and when they notice differences, it's really worth taking note of. Dirk Cutter running the football like he's never done it before.
Evans at the bottom of your screen matched up with Amerson again on 2nd and 13. Winston screen pass to Smith at the 40. Smith still on his feet across the 35-yard line. Brings up 3rd and manageable for the Bucs.
You know, certain players just have a knack for running certain types of plays. I mentioned earlier that Antone Smith had a big screen pass he ran last week against the 49ers. Right there again, he's got a great feel for selling that he's pass blocking and then slipping outside at the right time behind his offensive lineman, making a nice play.
Tampa Bay 2 for 3 on 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 4. Winston now in trouble, throws and completes it to Humphries. Down the sideline, cuts back and tripped up at the 7-yard line.
He stepped out of bounds at the 16-yard line on the
They're going to bring him back.
But what a great job by Winston. Once again, keeping his eyes down the field, felt the pressure but got rid of it. And Adam Humphries, you see right there, stepped out of bounds. The official called it. And that's the outlet you want. When your receivers know your quarterback is going to run, but he's going to keep his eyes down the field. Winston runs to buy time before he runs for first downs. And the receivers know that. It's really become a weapon.
There's an injured Raider down, and it's Perry Riley, the 7th-year linebacker out of LSU. Raiders already lost Sean Smith to the locker room. And now it's Riley slowly walking off the field.
You know, on that Jameis Winston note too, though, Steve Tasker, you made a great point, but it really comes down to, and you know, certain receivers have a knack for knowing where to go to find that space and give that quarterback a place to go. Great job by Humphries right there, finding and understanding Jameis Winston's going to flush left. I'm going to get to the sideline, give him a spot to throw that football.
Well, what it boils down to, Steve Bernline, is this. The receiver knows what his quarterback wants him to do. When the quarterback breaks contain, he knows what he's thinking, and the quarterback, when he looks out there, sees a guy that understands him and throws him the football.
Prior to where the ball was spotted.
They have challenged this spot. Tampa Bay has thrown the challenge flag.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites. And by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Scoreless in the first quarter, and it's actually Jack Del Rio who has thrown the challenge
After
flag.
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner stepped out at the 16-yard line. Oakland is charged with their first timeout.
That's a really curious decision by Jack Del Rio.
That might be
very curious.
Yeah, I really don't understand the purpose of the challenge. And Jack Del Rio, a friend of mine, former teammate of mine, He's been pretty good in general. I think his record is pretty good with challenges over the years, but right there, I do not know the purpose of it. Whether they spotted at the 15 or the 17, it was a first down for Tampa Bay. Kind of irrelevant.
Now 2 for 4 on challenges this year. 1st and 10. It's Rodgers up the middle, and Rodgers gets a yard. Tampa Bay's red zone touchdown percentage this year is tied for 15th in the NFL at 52%. And the Raiders have done a very good job red zone defense. That's one of the things that Ken Norton Jr. and Jack Del Rio have pointed to. Yes, they're giving up a lot of yards, but in key categories like red zone defense, they're holding teams to field goals and not allowing touchdowns.
They're ranked 10th in the NFL right now in red zone defense.
Winston in trouble, and he is sacked. Khalil Mack with his 4th sack of the season. And Mack now has a sack in 3 straight games.
Bruce Irvin right here at the bottom of your screen, and he gets in the exact same time Mack does, just a half second later. Both end edge rushers were right in Winston's lap right there. Mack gets him around the top. Bruce Irvin from the other side. And there's no explanation for it other than the fact that when the Raiders defense gets down to their own end, they're really good.
3rd and 15. Winston has time. Dumps it down to the tight end. Stocker, his first catch of the year, but nothing doing as Malcolm Smith is right there, and out comes the field goal unit for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's really strange because the Raiders just seem to almost back up defensively all the way down until they get their backs to their 20-yard line, and then all of a sudden they turn into a pretty nasty bunch. Their pass rush is better, their coverage is better, and once again they force their opponent into a field goal attempt.
Here's the rookie, Roberto Aguayo, who has missed 5 field goals this year. This is from 41 yards. He was 2 for 3 last week in the win over San Francisco. And this kick is good. So with 3:53 to go in the first quarter, Tampa Bay on the board first. They lead 3-0. Start your Halloween night with Kevin James in a scary, funny episode of TV's #1 new comedy, Kevin Can Wait, tomorrow at 8/7 Central, only CBS. 3:53 to go, first quarter. Tampa Bay looking for its 3rd straight win, and they have a 3-0 lead with Jalen Richard back deep to receive the kick for the Raiders. And he will take a knee. Well, we told you earlier, as Chris Fisher mentioned, that the Raiders stayed in Florida after last Sunday's win over Jacksonville. So Tampa Bay actually had to travel further for this game, coming off the win last week out in Santa Clara. Over 2,300 miles, while the Raiders only had to travel 200 miles to play this game today.
Raiders have played a lot on the East Coast. They put a lot more miles on the odometer, I think, than the Bucs have all season.
Second most miles in the NFL this year for the Raiders, behind the Rams. And on first down, it's DeAndre Washington with the carry. Just the second drive for Oakland after the first one stalled because of the penalty against Michael Crabtree. Derek Carr tied for 6th in the NFL with 13 touchdown passes on the season to just 3 interceptions. And when you talk to the Oakland coaching staff, they continue to rave about his decision-making, when to throw the ball away, when to hold on to it. It's Richard who's got some room, spinning his way across the 40, and flags come in late. Richard's carries have been limited the last 2 games. He's only carried it 5 times, and this one appears to be coming back.
Holding, offense number 66. 10-yard penalty, second down.
3rd holding call this year against Gabe Jackson. We go back to New York, an NFL Today update with JP and Bart Scott.
All right, it is over in London.
With an ending fitting for a soccer crowd right here. Kirk Cousins going to scramble. Out of bounds foul ball for the 2nd week in a row. An NFL game ends in a tie. Washington, Cincinnati, 27-all.
Back-to-back ties for the first time since '97. Back to Andrew Catalon.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Second straight week we've had a tie. Following the penalty, it's second down and 18.
We're going to have one-on-one coverage on both outside receivers, Cooper and Crabtree.
Carr looking for Cooper. Now comes back the other way to Rivera. He's got it for a first down. The tight end, Michael Rivera, picks up 27. Bradley McDougald on the tackle.
Well, this play is a great job by Derek Carr. Right here is the receiver going up the seam, but watch how Derek Carr forces his vision this way to the left. That holds the safety in the middle of the field and moves him that way. You see that 2 steps the safety took to the right-hand side. That allowed a seam and a nice spot for Derek Carr to put that football right in there.
Rivera only had 30 yards receiving the entire season. He gets 27 on that play. Moves Oakland up to the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Latavius Murray, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. Levante David comes up to make that tackle. You can be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Get instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and more. Download the CBS Sports app today. Time winding down in the first quarter, 1:40 to go. On second down and 9. Carr pump fakes, now throws sideline, incomplete. Now, earlier this week, Dirk Cutter kind of called out the fans here in Tampa. And he told us on Friday, I know I threw it out there, but he said we need their help. We don't want you selling your tickets to Raiders fans. And he said that we really need to create a home field advantage. It's been lacking. It's been pretty loud here in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's right to say what he did. He's not afraid or apologizing for it whatsoever. He's basically saying that the fans have to do their part too. They deserve a winning team. We have to step up and win games, but it helps us to have them there.
3rd and long. Carr, pressure coming. Ball is out. And Tampa Bay has recovered. Howard Jones falls on the loose football.
Well,
and the Raiders turn it over.
Excuse me, Andrew. This is a team in the Raiders that doesn't turn it over, and they don't let pressure get to Derek Carr. In this case, both those things go awry. You see, off the edge comes Noah Spence and just gets to him. Comes right in around, doesn't really hit the ball, hits the elbow, and that's a fumble.
But that was directly related to the noise, though. We were just talking about it. It was very loud in here on that play. And Derek Carr, I think, a little bit disoriented, didn't feel the pressure coming from Noah Spence.
Yeah, and one of the things, too, he pulled that football down. He didn't like what he saw right at the first instant, started to double clutch it and then release it. He just didn't have time to do it. Austin Howard giving up the edge rush to Spence, and that forced the turnover.
Second lost fumble this year for Derek Carr. And Tampa Bay with good field position to start this drive, but Jacquizz Rodgers going the wrong way thanks to Bruce Irvin.
And this is important when you get a guy like Rodgers. He gets in there. It's one of the things he likes to do. He'll get in there and get low, and even for a guy as small as he is, short as he is, it's hard to find him. When he can bounce back outside, he can do that faster than the defense can react, and he gets to the edge that way a lot. Bruce Irvin did a good, nice job there, holding discipline and keeping the edge.
2nd and 12. Winston over the middle, and it's caught by the tight end Cameron Brate. He's got a Tampa Bay first down up to the 19-yard line, a gain of 17.
Well, that was Carl Joseph on the play with good coverage, number 42. You see running right with him across the field, right to left. That ball just thrown right on time, right on the money by Jameis Winston. Carl Joseph in excellent position, the rookie first-round draft choice out of West Virginia. He really wanted to make that play, felt he should have.
7 seconds left in the first quarter. See if Tampa Bay snaps it or if we go to the second. Already 5 plays of 10-plus yards for the Bucs, and Winston does take the snap, and now they're saying he didn't get it off in time. That is the end of the first quarter, with Tampa Bay driving and leading 3-0. We'll return to Tampa after these messages. You are watching the NFL on CBS. First quarter numbers heavily in favor of the Buccaneers. Oakland only ran 8 plays, turned it over on 1 of them, and Tampa Bay trying to capitalize off the Derek Carr fumble. They have it at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Play action, Winston on the move, looking deep, and it is caught for a touchdown by Russell Shepard. A 19-yard touchdown. Second of the season for Shepard, and they're a point away from a 10-0 lead.
What a catch. That's now, remember, we're talking about a converted quarterback here. The guy that was a dual threat quarterback at LSU. They caught the perfect coverage. Shepard, a good-sized guy, 6'1", had his the defender had his back to the play. That was DJ Hayden, so did not know the ball was coming over the top, and timed perfectly by Shepard to go up and get it.
Aguayo out for the extra point. And the kick is good. So off the turnover, Tampa Bay is able to put 7 on the board. 36% of their points this year have come off turnovers. That's the highest in the NFL, and they add to it with the touchdown catch by Russell Shepard.
Yeah, Russell Shepard, we spoke to Jameis Winston and Derek Carr. Russell Shepard was kind of a legendary high school quarterback when he was coming out. He went to LSU, as Steve Berline just mentioned, and then subsequently switched to wide receiver. But both these young quarterbacks looked at this guy and watched him play as a prepster, and man, they were taken with him. He was legendary in his career and in high school.
Here's what happened.
As a quarterback.
Yeah, here's what happened right here. It's a play action to the left, and Shepard, you look at the safety in the back right there. Everybody steps up here. That allows Shepard all this space on the outside, and a nice throw under pressure by Jameis Winston. Get it up over the top. The play action is what drew everybody up, though. And then Jameis Winston athletic enough to make the nice throw over the top and a super catch by Shepard.
Last week, Tampa Bay fell behind 14-0 against San Francisco. Since then, they're on a 44-3 run. And they lead the Raiders 10-0 with Aguayo to kick it off. It's Richard fielding it on a hop, and it's a touchback. The Raiders will start at the 25-yard line. Well, Derek Carr was, to follow up on Steve Tasker's point, they both played, Shepard and Carr played high school football in Houston, and Carr said that he had interest in going to LSU, but LSU offered Shepard as a quarterback and not Carr, and Derek ended up going to Fresno State. And Jameis Winston told us he used to watch YouTube videos all the time of Russell Shepard in high school.
Derek Carr also said he's the only other high school quarterback that I actually went on our bye week and went and watched play because he was that good.
So just 8 plays for Oakland so far. They've gained 31 yards, and they trail by 10 with Murray in the backfield. Murray across the 25 and plows his way up to the 29-yard line. Gerald McCoy makes the tackle.
Well, that's what we need to see, I think, if you're looking at what the Raiders are doing offensively. Latavius Murray, I believe, is an underused running back. One of the most productive guys in the NFL. When he's playing for the Raiders, this Raiders team is a different ball club. They score 6 more points a game. They rush almost twice as much per game with Latavius Murray out there. It just changes the whole look of this offense from a defensive perspective.
Second and 6, back-to-back carries from Murray, and he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage.
And one of the things about this Raider team, you talk to teams who face them, this offensive line is big. They are absolutely enormous. Now, they're not that athletic. They don't run real well, but they pass protect really good, and they get a good push up inside. They don't run much wide with offensive linemen pulling out in front, but when they get up inside and get on guys, they're a load to stop. This Tampa Bay front doing a nice job of it here in the second quarter.
Tampa Bay has the second best third down defense in the NFL. Only Miami is better. On third down, they run it. And it's Richard off to the races. First down yardage for Oakland. A 20-yard pickup for Jalen Richard.
Yeah, this is a nice play. Carr switched to this and put Richard to his right. And this is just pops right over. I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of confidence as a quarterback to switch off on a third and long to a run play, thinking you're going to pick it up.
It's simple math, though. You count the number of defenders they've got in the box between the tackles. If they don't have enough bodies in there, you run it up in there. Great job by Derek Carr.
Blue 80. What's up?
Play action to Murray. Carr on the move, throwing sideline, and Crabtree is out of bounds. He actually made the catch. He's got great hands, but Vernon Hargraves on the coverage, and it's 2nd and 10.
And it doesn't matter that Hargraves pushed him out of bounds. They took that rule out a few years ago, and Crabtree's right foot's going to come down right on the line. It's one of the things that Crabtree has really given the Raiders. He makes really tough catches consistently. And that's why Carr loves throwing it up there to him. He comes down with it a lot, does it in the red zone, does it in third and short. In that case, Hargraves does a nice job defensively.
Carr, quick pass to Cooper. And Cooper is tackled at the 47-yard line. Another third down situation coming up for the Raiders. I.J. Barima made the tackle for the Tampa defense. We asked Derek Carr yesterday about this Tampa defense, and the first guy he mentioned was I.J. Barima. We were a bit surprised, but he said looking at his film study, he's a great tackler, and he made the tackle on Amari Cooper there to bring up 3rd and 6.
He didn't want to try and pronounce his name. He just called him by number. He said, we'll let you guys try and figure that out.
Carr just throws this one away with the pressure coming. Tampa Bay thought that the right tackle, Howard, had jumped. There was no penalty flag.
There might be a penalty here. They're talking around. They don't think there was a guy in the vicinity. Carr was inside the pocket and just threw it. Now, Crabtree was kind of down in the middle of the field. Yeah, there it is. There's the flag.
I thought Austin Howard moved too before the snap.
Intentional grounding, offense number 4. Ball replaced, it's a spot on pass. Loss of down, 4th down.
Yeah, there's no doubt Derek Carr just threw that ball. There's nobody out there. Watch the right there. You can see on the right-hand side, Howard moved early, but there's Derek Carr felt the pressure. It was a complete screw-up in assignment by the Raiders. That whole play was a disaster from start to finish. And as a quarterback in the pocket between the two tackles, you can't just throw it.
Yes, that's a case where the Raiders wish they'd have gotten the false start.
Right.
So Derek Carr, 4 for 8, 39 yards, and a lost fumble. And Oakland, which is 8th in the NFL in points per game, still down 10-0, 11:56 to go first half. Marquette King is back out for his second punt of the half. His first one traveled 67 yards. Adam Humphries back deep for Tampa.
Having a hard time spotting this football. Jack Del Rio's in the ear. You're up here. They got to get this straightened out. First of all, the officials missed a false start penalty. Then they penalized the Raiders a different penalty on intentional grounding that on a play that should never have happened. And Jack Del Rio, that's where he said, hey, there's the line of scrimmage. Actually, it was back here. But he says you got to go 5 yards from there, lost it down. But it should have been like a sack. When you get intentional grounding, it's from the point where the quarterback throws it, and that's about where Carr threw it.
Marquette King can get it to the end zone from either one of those spots anyway.
He's thinking inside the 20 right now.
He could get to the end zone from Fort Myers, this guy with his leg. Humphries with a fair catch at the 19-yard line. A 43-yard punt from Marquette King, 10-0 Buccaneers. Jameis Winston has done a good job spreading the football around, connecting with 6 different receivers so far in this first half, including the touchdown pass to Russell Shepard.
You know, Jameis Winston coming into this game, notoriously slow starter on the season in the first quarter. 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he came out ready to play today. He's looking very sharp.
He has thrown 8 straight completions. His first pass of the day was incomplete. The play Sean Smith got hurt on has not misfired since. Back to the air, off the hands of Evans, who had some space at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Jameis Winston under a little bit of pressure right there. If he had a split second longer to hold this football, this would have been a completion. They had the perfect coverage set up. That ball was just a little bit high, a little bit before Mike Evans was able to really locate the football. Jameis Winston had to throw it a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah, it was Malcolm Smith who was bringing the pressure on Winston and forced him to pull the trigger a bit early. That's his first incompletion since his first pass of the day back in the first quarter. On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And Rodgers up to the 26-yard line. Back to New York. NFL Today update with JB and Bart Scott.
Alex Smith passed concussion protocol, but
Nick Foles going to find Travis Kelce for the 14-yard touchdown pass. Remember, he came over because he's familiar with this offense and he loves Andy Reid. Paying off 10-0.
Smith questionable for the return. Back to Andrew.
All right, guys, thank you. That AFC West, Raiders and Denver leading the way at 5-2, but Kansas City right behind with a 4-2 record. And the Chargers have been playing well, a 3-4 mark. 3rd down. Winston throws back to Humphries, and Humphries with a flag down has the first, but let's see what the penalty is. Reggie Nelson made the tackle.
Illegal man down the field.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's on the left guard, Kevin Pamfield, and wipes out the first down completion.
You look right here. This is Pamfield right there. We'll see he starts running. This is a quick screen. Whether Jameis Winston was a little bit late throwing that football, I don't know. The flag, you can see it coming in from the right-hand side. Interesting stat, though. Adam Humphries, of his 22 receptions on the season, 10 of them have been behind the line of scrimmage. They throw a lot of those screen passes to him, try and get those big boys out in front of him running.
And he averages 8 yards after the catch. Winston, incomplete. Again, a bit high for the 6'5" Mike Evans. And the Raiders defense comes up with a big stop. They force a punt.
And that was an example, I think, of Jameis Winston. One thing that Ken Norton and Ken Norton, defensive coordinator for the Raiders, and Jack Del Rio, head coach, told us, Jameis Winston definitely locks in. And I'm sure that's what Dirk Cutter's telling him right now. You can't force it into Mike Evans. That could have been a bad play. A lot of black jerseys around there. Go through your reads. Go to the check down.
First 3 and out today by the Tampa Bay offense. And this is Richard from his own 30. Dances his way across the 35, and now a flag comes in from behind as Richard is tackled at the 38-yard line. A 49-yard boot
During
from Brian
return,
Anger.
holding, receiving team number 25. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
5th penalty against the Raiders. It goes on DJ Hayden.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you at your local Honda dealer. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Beautiful, breezy day in Tampa, and the Raiders have not gotten their offense going. 55 total yards and now 51 penalty yards after the special teams penalty against DJ Hayden. 1st and 10 for Carr in the offense from the 28-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Has a wide open Olawale down the sideline. Olawale still going and finally dragged down inside the 5. Bradley McDougall caught up at a gain of 68 for Jameis Olawale.
There's Olawale right there. He's just going to come straight down the sideline, and it's a complete bust by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not even a play action. Nobody runs with Olawale down the sideline. That is about as easy as it gets in the NFL. Don't know whether the Raiders saw something on tape or whether Tampa Bay just got confused. I think it's the latter of the two, and Derek Carr takes advantage of it.
Longest pass play this season for the Raiders. It sets them up with 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Murray, the running back, and a flag comes in, and the play clock expired.
Offense.
That's
5-yard penalty. First down.
We spoke about it in the open. You just can't let that happen. The Raiders have really, I mean, they've got a lot of penalties. Coming into this weekend, they were the #1 penalized team in the league, and it hasn't stopped. And they're all self-inflicted.
But that, and Derek Carr very frustrated with the sideline saying get the play in quicker. But Derek Carr, he's that 25-second clock or 40, it's right under the goalpost. He's got to know the ball at the 1-yard line. You got to take a timeout right there.
So they move the ball back to the 8. Again, Murray, the running back, on 1st and goal. 35 straight red zone drives for the Raiders with points. Longest streak in the NFL right now. Murray makes the catch out of the backfield. And he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. Levante David, William Golston on the stop.
I have to go back to that, Andrew. We'll look at a replay here. Nice job running to the flat by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. But that is the job of a quarterback. I know that. The coaches always say in those situations, even if the clock is running down, we know we don't want to burn timeouts, but that is a situation where you as a quarterback have got to take the timeout.
Keep an eye on Crabtree. He's at the top of your screen. 4 red zone touchdowns this year. 2nd most in the NFL behind Jordy Nelson of Green Bay. Carr looking for Crabtree. And Crabtree's got it, but he pushed off. And this is going to be offensive pass interference.
Yeah, Crabtree said, you could tell immediately, he knew he did.
Offense number 15. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, he came out, and as soon as he caught it, he saw the flag come out, working right there. And yeah, come on. Now, no question, Brent Grimes embellished, but Crabtree, 2 hands to the middle of the guy's chest, pushed him right off.
Well, Brent Grimes did a great job of planting his feet and, making Crabtree either avoid him or run through him.
Crabtree obliged.
No doubt about it.
2nd penalty of the half on Crabtree for 22 yards, and now 2nd and goal from the 19-yard line. Carr to Richard at the 15. And Richard is wrapped up by Levante David. It will be 3rd and goal for Oakland.
Yeah, this is a horrific series of downs for the Raiders. Had the big play to get them down in 1st and goal from inside the 5, and penalties have crushed them. They came out on the first play. They were going to run heavy and just power it into the end zone. Then they got the penalty. Now they've had to spread it out and try their, trying to get it in through the air, and it just could not have gone worse.
And you mentioned Crabtree is usually the target. Right here, that's Seth Roberts. He's been targeted 3 times in the red zone, and he's got 3 touchdowns.
3rd and goal. Carr, end zone for Crabtree, broken up. Vernon Hargraves, the 1st-round pick out of Florida, got a hand on that one, and out comes Sebastian Janikowski.
Well, you go back, and this was a great coverage by Hargraves. Crabtree didn't really have a chance to get this one, but it really does go back to that delay of game penalty. You get the ball down to that 1-yard line, you cannot take that 5-yard penalty in that situation. I don't care who's at fault as far as calling that play on the sideline, not getting it in. The quarterback has to be aware.
The Raiders average 75 penalty yards per game. They already have 66 here in the 1st half, and Janikowski's 31-yard field goal is good. With 8:15 to go, 2nd quarter, it's a 10-3 ball game. A few weeks ago, Buccaneers players and business staff joined together for the team's annual hometown huddle. The goal was to help renovate the Sulphur Springs Resource Center and Community School. Some of the activities included painting picnic tables and buildings, adding new landscaping, and leading the kids through Play 60 drills. Some of the kids and adults dressed up today. Happy Halloween from all of us here at CBS. 8:15 to go, 2nd quarter. And the Raiders have trimmed into the Buccaneers lead. It's 10-3 with Janikowski kicking it away. And Ryan Smith, this was right at the goal line, scoops it up. And Smith Still going. He's tackled at the 15-yard line. That happened a couple of times last week for Tampa Bay against San Francisco. Dirk Cutter was not happy with his special teams play last week.
Well, he got caught. It looked right at the end. It looked like the ball got caught in a gust of wind. It blew it about 3 feet away from him, and then it's just whatever he can get. By that time, it's too late. The Raiders missed a couple of tackles inside the 10 that could have got putting him in deep trouble. As it is, he made a nice effort to get it to the 15, but still,
you know what?
bad play.
You know what else I'm seeing? Look at the shadows. They're behind the Raiders, so that ball was probably caught up in the sun because it looked like he misjudged that ball.
Third time today, Tampa Bay has started inside its own 20-yard line. First and 10 from the 15. And they keep it on the ground on first down with Peyton Barber. Khalil Mack makes the tackle. Well, you go back to that last Raiders drive and the 68-yard play by Olawale. First and goal, Raiders set up in great position, but that delay of game penalty, that just cannot happen. And you wonder why maybe a timeout wasn't called in that situation by Oakland.
Well, they had blown a timeout when they tried to do it. Really was a frivolous challenge, what we thought. So they only had 2 left, and then they didn't use a timeout right in that situation when they should have.
Winston incomplete. That one sailed on him, intended for Cecil Shorts. So it's 3rd and 9.
With the penalties and then the missed play down there close for the Raiders, the biggest part of the equipment package that they brought with them today is shovels, and they got to quit digging themselves into their own hole.
And we were at Buccaneers practice on Friday. It was a bit windier then than it is today, but Winston told us after that he had a tough week of practice with this wind.
Yeah, and it's blowing today again, as Chris told us in the open. It's definitely affecting passes.
Flag is down. Free play for Tampa Bay, and Winston completes it to Mike Evans, but now another flag has come in.
Now this is going to go against the Raiders as well.
There are 2 fouls on the defense. Holding, defense number 29, penalties decline. Offside defense, number 53, that penalties decline. First down.
14-yard completion to Mike Evans, and the penalties continue to pile up on Jack Del Rio's Raiders. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Jameis Winston, 9 of 13 for 105 yards and a touchdown. Winston, pump fakes, now chased. And then he's going to keep it himself and slides down. And a late flag comes in.
Wow, it's ridiculous. The Raiders are absolutely given.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 53, hitching the head of a sliding quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Malcolm Smith can't do this. And Jameis Winston does a nice job. He slides short of the first down right here. And not only is this, it's late, and you can't even fall down on it. You can't do that.
Just poor decision.
I know it's not a big vicious hit, but he can't do that.
You can't do it. The rule is the rule.
It's ridiculous. And the Raiders, I mean, somebody on the Raiders sidelines got to huddle those guys up and say, hey, listen, stop. Just stop. And to this point, that's been the story of the game for the Raiders. It's been them inflicting success on the Buccaneers.
Winston to Humphries, and he is stuck by DJ Hayden. Steve Berline mentioned that close to half of Humphries' catches this year have come behind the line of scrimmage. That was another one, but DJ Hayden was well aware.
But DJ Hayden sniffed it out. Good scouting report, good preparation on his part. Not afraid of Humphries running up the field in general and knowing the situation. Trying to get a good first down play. He sniffed it out, made a nice stop. Put him in a 2nd and 11 situation.
With 6:20 to go in the second quarter. Jaquiz Rogers on a delayed handoff has a bit of room. And he is tackled at the 42-yard line. It will be 3rd down for Tampa Bay.
One thing about this Tampa Bay offense, Steve Berline, you and I were talking in the break, they almost tell Jameis Winston when he cannot throw it to Mike Evans. He looks at him so much, they throw those behind the line of scrimmage passes to guys like Adam Humphries so that he'll look at least once in a while at another receiver.
3rd down and 6. Winston, and that one is nearly intercepted. It was T.J. Carey who nearly came down with that one. And it'll be 4th down for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Cecil Short's not scaring Carey whatsoever. And boy, lucky to get away with that one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are. Carey very easily could have pulled that one in.
Well, that's one reason as well why Jameis Winston looks for Mike Evans.
So Brian Anger comes out. He's punted twice already today with an average of 49 yards. Trying to pin the Raiders deep here late in the second quarter. Will this one go into the end zone? There's a flag down. It's down at the 1. But there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. And guess what? It's against the Raiders again.
During the kick, illegal use of hands to the face. Receiving team number 75. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down. Timeout.
That's on Darius Latham, so Oakland will be pinned deep to start their next offensive drive.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hacksaw Ridge from director Mel Gibson, in theaters Friday. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Oakland will start this drive inside the 1-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5:37 to go in the second quarter. Carr is out of the shotgun. Quick pass to Crabtree, gets out of the end zone. Crabtree breaks a tackle, cuts back, and has the 1st down. And that gives the Raiders some breathing room. And now this season, inside his own 10-yard line, Derek Carr is 7 for 7 passing.
That's a great stat. I mean, that's the hardest place to play quarterback. Confidently coming out of your own end zone, delivering ball on time, on the money. I really like being aggressive coming out of your own end zone. I think this day and age, with the rules the way they are, if I'm backed up inside the 5-yard line, I'm taking a shot down the field on 1st down, try to get a pass interference.
Inside 5 minutes to go in the first half. Raiders have 2 timeouts. They wasted one on a challenge. It's Murray. And Murray gets to the 24-yard line. Week 8 continues later today on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. This year, the Raiders have 3 touchdown drives of at least 90 yards.
Well,
last year they had 4 the entire season.
Well, this one will be 99.5 by the time if they do convert a touchdown. This is, you don't see field position as bad as they had it to start this drive.
DeAndre Washington at running back on 2nd and 4. And he takes the handoff. Washington still on his feet. DeAndre Washington off to the races and dragged down at midfield. How did he find some room? Through traffic, a gain of 28.
Well, he's another one of those really small running backs. We were talking about Jaquiz Rogers. The balance that these small guys have. Number one, as Steve Tasker pointed out, they hide behind the line. But you really have to wrap up and bring a smaller, stocky running back, take them to the ground because they're like a little pinball. They just bounce off of you all the way. If you don't wrap up and take them down, they're going to keep those legs going. They come out with a lot of big plays.
4th different Oakland player with at least 20 yards on a play today. That time it's DeAndre Washington. On 1st and 10, Latavius Murray burst to steam, still on his feet. And to the 43-yard line with 3:20 to go. Bradley McDougald on the tackle.
You can feel a different sense of urgency from this Raider off. Now there's a late flag.
Yeah, that just came
very
down.
late.
Against the Raiders.
What? That was after the play.
Illegal formation. Offense number 74 did not report as an eligible receiver and lined up on the end of the line.
Oh, wow.
For a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, and he doesn't. And you can see that the signal that the Raiders are mimicking. Alexander, what you do is you put your hand, just do that right there, what he did to an official, and that's reporting. Right here, he's on the end of the line of scrimmage, so he has to report as an eligible receiver because he has an ineligible number. and the official did not see him give that motion, so they had to call the penalty.
Wow.
You got to make sure, as a player, you got to make sure the official acknowledges the gesture. You can't just do it and expect it to be good enough.
It's on the rookie, Vidal Alexander. So first down and 15. 86 yards and penalties for the Raiders in the first half. Murray back to midfield. As we're 2:40 away from halftime. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football, which is on NFL Network this week. All coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Season high for the Raiders in penalties. They had 14 for 141 yards. That was week 1 in New Orleans. Today, in the first half, 10 penalties for 86 yards. Second down and 11 from midfield. Carr over the middle to Murray, makes the catch and leveled immediately. That was Quan Alexander, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Here in Tampa, Buccaneers lead 10-3. Oakland's offense has found a groove here in the second quarter, piling up yards, but still just 3 points on the scoreboard. And at the 2-minute warning, they have a third down and 6.
This is a huge third down for the Raiders right here. They've got to find a way to get some points.
Just 1 for 5 on third downs. Carter, Richard, and Tampa Bay not fooled. Robert Ayers, who missed the last 4 games with an ankle injury, makes the tackle, and it's 4th down.
Well, the Raiders went back to a play they ran earlier with success. Only 6 guys in the box for the Buccaneers, and then they walked the safety down into the box. Bradley McDougal came in and got into the box and gave him that extra guy to fill the gap, and they were able to make that tackle. Great play by Ayers, and they're happy to have him back. They knew he would make a difference, particularly in that portion of the game, not only with a pass rush, but being able to step into a run gap.
They did a great job beating his block and coming off and making that tackle.
So the Raiders now 1 for 6 on third downs. Here's Marquette King with Humphreys back deep for Tampa Bay. Lets this one bounce, and it takes a Raiders hop right to the 10-yard line. So Tampa with 3 timeouts getting the ball back, 1:06 on the clock. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Also a preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. All right, if you're Dirk Cutter, 3 timeouts, you got the ball on your 12-yard line. How do you play it here with Jameis Winston in the offense?
Well, I would expect that Dirk Cutter right here would come out with a screen pass or a draw play. That's the most common way that coaches start out 2-minute drives, especially backed up in their own end zone, and try to see if you can pop a nice play to get you in good position.
They do run it on first down with Rodgers across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Jack Del Rio has 2 timeouts.
Yeah, there's no reason for Tampa Bay to go into an offensive shell here. They got the lead, and they got this is why you got Jameis Winston, and this is the kind of offensive spot where you want your young quarterback and these weapons to move down the football field, and the Raiders haven't stopped them.
No, they're using the time, using the clock. I like kind of what they're doing back here. Jack Del Rio will probably burn a timeout after this play to try and get Tampa Bay to punt.
Another run with Rodgers. Let's see if Del Rio calls timeout here.
I don't know. I think that's a resignation right there. I mean, you're just trying to get to halftime.
Well, you're backed up in your own end zone. You got a young quarterback. I don't think you throw it in that situation at all. I think Dirk Cutter, everything he's doing right now, I believe is 100% right.
Well, don't throw it, but I think you use the time in your timeouts. Try and get some first downs anyway. I mean, you got to do something. There's no reason to tuck your tail and run in at halftime. Try and get something to happen. I mean, if worse comes to worse, you punt it away.
That is the half. Raiders will receive the second half kickoff. This is the fewest points the Raiders have scored in the first half this year. They had 7 week 2 against Atlanta. Penalties, a big story, with Oakland being penalized 10 times for 86 yards in the first half. And let's go down to Chris Fisher.
Thanks, Andrew. Jack, 10 penalties in the first half. Does it feel like self-inflicted wounds, and what do you tell your team?
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, we really stopped ourselves offensively in each of these drives where we haven't scored. It's been a matter of self-inflicted penalties. So, yeah, we've got to clean that up, obviously, and got a lot of football in front of us.
Thanks, Jack. Andrew?
10-3 Tampa Bay. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. It's week 8 of the NFL on CBS, and at the half, Tampa Bay leads Oakland 10-3. Back in the booth with Steve Tasker and Steve Berline. I'm Andrew Catalan. Jack Del Rio clearly frustrated in the interview with Chris Fisher coming off the field at the end of the first half. 10 penalties in the first.
Well, the Raiders have to feel horrible about the way they played in the first half. Not only playing, but also the penalties. They have to feel really good about the fact that they're only down a touchdown. And the first thing you got to do when you dig yourself a hole is stop digging. We'll see if the Raiders can do that.
And by the same token, I think that's why Tampa Bay should be a little disappointed, only being up 7 points with the problems the Raiders have inflicted upon themselves. Tampa Bay, I think, playing a good, solid game plan, protecting the football. We'll see if they can continue into the second half.
One touchdown in that first half. It was Jameis Winston to Russell Shepard. Let's take a look at it in Who Are You Loving? Presented by McDonald's, a 19-yard touchdown, the only score of the first half. 10 penalties, 86 yards for Oakland in that first half. But they will receive the second half kickoff. Jalen Richard back deep. And Aguayo, who made his only field goal attempt in the first half, will kick it away. Oakland trying to go 5-0 on the road for the first time since 1977 when John Madden was the head coach. They'll start the second half at their own 25-yard line, and we start with a report from Chris Fisher.
Thanks, Andrew. Dirk Cutter telling me coming out at half that he's pleased with the defense, how effective they've been in limiting Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper. Just 4 catches for 29 yards. While on the offensive side of the ball, he likes what Jameis Winston is doing by spreading the ball around. But they need to be more consistent in running it. And the wind has definitely been a factor. He says if his wide receivers get their hands on it, they need to haul it in. Andrew?
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Oakland has been penalized on every single one of its offensive drives so far in this game. On first down, Carr. Sidearm toss, complete to Clive Walford, but not much doing on that play.
You know,
it was Bradley McDougald on the stop.
Sorry about that, Andrew. But when you look at what's going on with the Raiders, a nice play by McDougald here to make the tackle, but the Raiders always have notoriously been the most penalized team in the NFL. But when you look at Jack Del Rio's history, the head coach of the Raiders, during his tenure in Jacksonville, his team, the 8 years he was there, 03 to 11, they were the second least penalized team in football. It's a huge priority. It always has been to Jack Del Rio.
On 2nd and 9, Olawale on the carry, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long for Oakland. Golston on the stop. Take a look at the first half numbers. Raiders had more total yards than Tampa Bay, but just 3 points, and clearly the penalty is a big story. Only 1 turnover in that first half. It was the Derek Carr fumble.
Well, if you're losing penalty count by a long ways and you're turning it over, you're going to have a hard time winning games. The Raiders have a whole half to get it together. We'll see if they can.
3rd down and 9. They were 1 for 6 on 3rd downs in the first half. Carr has time. Zings one over the middle to Cooper. And Amari Cooper into Tampa Bay territory. A gain of 28.
Well, this starts with the protection of Carr. He has a lot of time. Doesn't feel it. That's a nice double move by Amari Cooper. That's why the guys got all those catches. Hargraves having a hard time with that double move. And that's what a route by Amari Cooper, and Carr didn't look anywhere else. He was staring him down and gunned it in.
Just the second 3rd down conversion today for the Raiders. 1st and 10. Play action. Carr. The screen pass to Murray. And Murray gets a yard. On that third down play, Cooper got the better of Vernon Hargreaves. Not the first time these two have gone against each other. 2014, an SEC showdown between Florida and Alabama. And while Hargreaves did not cover Cooper the entire game, Amari Cooper had 10 catches for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hargreaves said it was the first time in his life where he felt the guy he was going against was significantly better than him. And he said it helped him become a better pro. They're matched up again today. Quick pass right back to Amari Cooper. And Cooper out of bounds. It will be third down for the Raiders.
Yeah, to his credit, Hargreaves admitting that was the first time, but he was only a sophomore at the time. He was just a young guy, and Amari Cooper was a seasoned college player at that point. You see, that guy, Amari Cooper, he's such a threat to go the distance every time he touches it. That's why you see the Raiders doing it both ways. They threw him the deep crossing route down the middle. They'll also throw him the whip screen, get the ball in his hands, and let him do something with it.
Carr is 4 for 4 on this drive for 33 yards. It's 3rd and 6. Carr over the middle, Roberts, and that one is incomplete.
No, they're giving it to him. They're moving the chain.
Wow.
Got it. Yeah, the
Tampa
Bucs.
Bay is saying you should challenge this. They did not think that Roberts brought it in. And that angle might be tough to overturn. Oakland hurries to the line, and they get the playoff. So great job by Derek Carr to make sure that Dirk Cutter could not get another angle at that catch and throw the challenge flag.
Well, even if things stop right now, it's a good catch, because a good play by the Raiders, because it's a 4-point catch or 3-point catch, because right now they're in field goal range. They weren't before this catch. And that was a smart job of getting up and going no huddle, because even so, I mean, you'd like to think Roberts did catch it. He got up and started to run, and that's a good reaction for a player catching it. That's a great job by Carr, making sure it counted.
2 third down conversions on this drive for Oakland. Pressure coming. Carr steps up. Looking end zone for Cooper. Incomplete, but there's the flag.
In the end zone.
Brent Grimes came in late and made contact with Cooper.
He tried to go up over the top.
Defense number 24. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Well, it gets worse, because back at the line of scrimmage, 2 defensive linemen for the Bucs are on the ground. Carr lays this out there. Watch Grimes come over the top and try and make a play on it. You can't go through him to do that, and that was significantly affected Cooper's chance to get that catch. It was early.
It was a bad decision by Derek Carr to throw that. It was a super job by Grimes of reading the route, and Derek Carr talked about it. Grimes is very smart. Good play there.
There's an injured Buccaneer, William Golston, down at the 40-yard line. We're back to Tampa in a moment. William Golston walked off under his own power, the 4th-year man out of Michigan State. The penalty brings the ball down to the 1-yard line. Second time this year Brent Grimes has been called for pass interference. So watch this 1st and goal play from the sideline. Something to keep in mind, Derek Carr does not have a rushing touchdown in his career. Murray is the running back, Olawale at fullback. Play action, Carr on the move, tosses it, and it's caught by Donald Penn, the former Buccaneer. His 4th career touchdown reception, and that feels extra special for the man who was cut by Tampa Bay after the 2013 season.
He didn't even try to hide it during the week. He said, I'm not telling you this is just like every other game. This is important to me. He wanted to come back and play well against his former team. He never forgot. He had a good stretch here in Tampa Bay, and they released him. And now that he's become a Raider, he's actually playing some of the best football of his career. And right there, that has got to feel extra, especially good.
That's got to be some kind of record. 6 receptions he's had in his career, 4 touchdowns as a tackle in the NFL.
You got to start him on your fantasy team next week. Donald Penn, he's a red zone threat. Hey, kudos to Jack Del Rio and Bill Musgrave, too, for designing that one during the week. Extra special for the veteran Donald Penn, who spent 7 years with Tampa Bay He ties the game at 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, imported from Detroit.
Gorgeous day in Florida, and the Raiders had their first touchdown of the afternoon. Donald Penn, the left tackle, with the touchdown catch to tie things at 10. This is Smith on the return for Tampa Bay across the 20 and shoved out at the 24-yard line. Tonight, what does marijuana have to do with this coming election? A lot. It may become legal in many states, plus an American who led an ISIS cell on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. So first drive of the second half for Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers. He was 10 of 15 for 104 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Jaquiz Rodgers, 12 carries, 50 yards, and Mike Evans leading the way at wide receiver, 3 catches for 45 yards. Play action on 1st and 10. Winston in trouble, and Winston is spun down. Second sack today for Khalil Mack.
He just would not get fooled. He sniffed out the bootleg. Big hard play action, and Khalil Mack, and I'll tell you, Jameis Winston turns around. Last guy he wanted to see was Khalil Mack. Unfooled on that play, and that was an easy sack for Mack.
Dirk Cutter called him a game wrecker earlier this week, and he has been in Winston's grill all game long. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits for Khalil Mack. 2nd and 15. Winston looking deep down the middle of the field, incomplete. He overshoots the intended receiver, Cecil Shorts. TJ Carey and Carl Joseph on the coverage for Oakland. Well, since Tampa Bay scored that touchdown, it's been all Raiders in terms of yards. 204 to 39 for Tampa Bay.
Jameis Winston needs to be very careful here in this situation. 3rd and 15, obvious passing situation. Protect the football first and foremost.
Winston again looking deep for Shepard, and that is way overthrown, and a quick 3 and out by the Tampa Bay offense. Second time today that Oakland is forced a 3 and out.
Yeah, and I think Jameis Winston was kind of thinking, you know, maybe something good will happen, but that ball had no shot. He did not give Shepard any kind of play on that ball. It was 5 yards overthrown on a deep route. And, you got to think maybe the sack had something to do with it. One, make sure he got rid of it on time or get rid of it a little quicker. But that was a bad series to start the second half for the Buccaneers.
Anger from his own 5-yard line. This is a short punt. Good hang time. Anger leads the NFL in hang time, averaging 4.74 seconds. It's a 48-yard punt. Raiders going back on offense. With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon and primetime games live on your smartphone. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. 9:13 to go, third quarter. We've got a tie game between the Raiders and the Buccaneers. Oakland trying to go to 6-2. Tampa Bay looking for its first home win of the season. On 1st and 10, it's a handoff to Latavius Murray up the middle, and Murray to the 40-yard line.
You got to be impressed with what the Raiders have done coming out this second half. Both sides of the ball. They got after Tampa Bay on the first drive, finished it off with a touchdown, force a 3 and out, then come right back with a nice physical run to start this second drive. Whatever Jack Del Rio told this team at halftime, they've come out with a different mentality here the second half.
First 3 possessions, Oakland had 19 yards. The last 3, 188 yards. Andre Holmes in motion. And they go back to the ground with Murray, this time the right side and across the 45-yard line. And that's good for an Oakland first down. Quan Alexander on the tackle.
That's one of the things about the NFL, you've got to be able to go in at halftime and make some adjustments. Some teams, particularly veteran teams with elite quarterbacks, can make adjustments on the fly, particularly offensively. But your coaching staff is responsible for giving you some things at halftime that will help you be successful. Certainly the Raiders look to have done that at this half, aside from just saying, hey, don't get penalized.
Olawale lined up as a wide receiver at the top of your screen. Crabtree will now head his way in the slot on 1st and 10. Carr to Crabtree, and it's incomplete. Looked like Crabtree should have had that one.
Well, the Raiders tried to get Crabtree manned up on a safety, and what the Buccaneers did smartly, they had it manned up exactly the way they wanted it. Bradley McDougal actually went out on Olawale outside, and then when Crabtree shifted out of the backfield from the running back spot to the slot as a receiver, they did have their corner on it. So the Buccaneers were all over that play, and even though maybe the Raiders make something out of it after that, the Buccaneers were on that shift the way they should have been.
Second drop this season for Crabtree. He had 8 last year. Carr, and that pass is caught by Amari Cooper, and he's inside the 40 for another Oakland first down. Ajay Barima makes the tackle, but a gain of 16.
Nothing fancy here, just a little delay slant. You had a soft corner on the outside, made it way too easy for Carr and Cooper to connect on that one, and an easy first down.
We met with Amari Cooper yesterday, and he's a man of very few words. He is very quiet, but he did say something very interesting. He said when he was at Alabama, he expected to win every game, and he's got that same feeling now with the Oakland Raiders. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Carr to Olawale, and he can't get around that tackle by Levante David.
Well, that's an athletic play by David. Wow, they had it set up exactly the way they wanted it. Watches Carr plants, puts a little sizzle on this, and Donald Penn just can't find David. David's slicing in to make that catch. If he doesn't make that tackle, or if he doesn't force Donald Penn to slow up, that's a big, big play for the Raiders.
If Donald Penn makes that block, that is a big play. You're exactly right.
Instead, they get 1, and it's 2nd and 9. Give to Washington, and Washington picks up a couple of yards. 3rd down for Oakland.
We've spoken so much. Steve Berline, you and I have been debating it. Jack Del Rio, when he was at Jacksonville as their head coach, they were the least penalized team over the course of his tenure, the second least. And now the Raiders, they've got more talent on this team than he ever had in Jacksonville, and they're struggling to keep the flags off the field. I'm interested after this play to hear your theory on why that is.
3rd down and 6. Carr looking deep for Cooper. Separation. Touchdown. Amari Cooper. A 34-yard score, and the Raiders take the lead.
Well, Derek Carr can make every throw in the book. Right here, the trust that he has in Amari Cooper. He put that ball up before Cooper got over the top of Chris Conte. That ball was thrown absolutely perfectly on time. I cannot say enough. We got on a little bit earlier about not calling a timeout, but you guys know I am a big Derek Carr fan. We all are up here. He's got such a bright future, and what a great play that was.
His 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Just the 2nd touchdown this season for Amari Cooper. The other one came against San Diego, week 5. Extra point is good. Derek Carr on target to Amari Cooper. 17-10 Raiders.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Raiders have scored 17 unanswered points to take their first lead of the day with 5:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Janikowski kicks it away to Smith, and he takes a knee. And let's go back to the touchdown from Carr to Cooper.
Well, I want you to look at Amari Cooper lined up in the slot right here. This is Cooper, and then look at right here. This is Chris Conte, the safety up top. Now, what's going to happen? Cooper's going to run right at him, and that freezes Conte, and then Cooper goes over the top, and watch how early Derek Carr lets this ball go. You see Cooper running right at Conte. Conte sets down right there. He breaks down, and Carr is ready to throw that football. That is a tough throw to make. Carr puts it up there right on the money. Perfect execution.
Let's see if Tampa Bay can answer. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Jaquiz Rodgers at running back. And Rodgers picks up 3 yards on the play. Go back to Amari Cooper. There was a great story in the Mercury News out west by Jimmy Durkin this week. He went back to Cooper's hometown in Miami. And Cooper learned to play football on a blacktop, on a basketball court. And in the end zone, there was a big tree. And one of his first touchdown catches was running into the tree. He said he had to make the catch, got a huge knot in his face. But as he told us last night, there was no way he wasn't going to bring that ball down in the end zone, even though the tree was in his way. His family is here today making the drive from Miami. Rodgers has a Tampa Bay first down. Malcolm Smith on the tackle, a gain of 9.
This is a big drive for Tampa Bay to answer now. They're losing control of this game. The fans so excited in the first half. Now you can sense a little bit of wind taken out of their sails. The bottom line is that Dirk Cutter, head coach, and Jameis Winston, these guys need to step up, give the right opportunities to the players on the field. They got to step and make the plays.
And after starting 8 of 9, Winston is just 2 for his last 8 for 13 yards. Rodgers, and he is wrapped up and thrown down by Shalik Calhoun.
Man, that was a little bit of almost like the old suplex from wrestling with Calhoun. I mean, he absolutely bear hugs. Then that's a suplex.
Wow,
Right.
that's Khalil.
Yeah, that's almost, you know, if he would have gotten away with that, if there would have been no interruption and he would have slammed, and that might have been a penalty for unnecessary roughness for slamming a body down like that.
Instead, it's a loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Winston with pressure coming, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Jameis Winston took a shot that time. It'll be 3rd and long. It was Perry Riley bringing the heat.
This Raiders defense really has turned it up a notch since about the middle of the second quarter. In this second half, the offense coming out scoring 2 touchdowns has really punched some life into it. You see the possessions after that touchdown for Tampa Bay, nothing but punts. And the Raiders really have been dictating. They've been getting a lot of pressure on Winston. They've seized the momentum of this game.
3rd down and 12. Winston in the shotgun. Mack coming off the edge. Winston is incomplete, looking for Cameron Brate. It was Malcolm Smith on the coverage, and again, the Raiders applying pressure, forcing Winston to throw earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah, Winston knows he has got to throw this football on rhythm, whether his receivers are ready or not. The ball has to come out or he's going to go down. This pass rush of the Raiders, while it's not a jailbreak, it is coming and it's getting there on time. So Winston has to take the drop, hitch up, and get rid of it, and his receivers are not giving him big enough windows to make those completions.
Jameis Winston now 2 for 10 since the touchdown pass in the second quarter to Russell Shepard. And here comes Brian Anger to punt. Rashard back inside his 10-yard line. And Rashard just gets to the 13-yard line with 3:09 to go in the third quarter. A 55-yard punt by Anger. Tonight, there's a very special guest star on Madam's Secretary. JB plays himself. Don't miss it. Madam's Secretary tonight at 9/8 Central, only CBS.
JB.
Don't wait by the phone, Berline. They're not calling you. 17-10 Raiders. And Carr, with a flag down, completes it to Michael Crabtree. Raiders have not had a penalty this half.
Roughness. Offense, number 72, leg whip. Half minutes to the goal. First down.
First penalty this half, it goes against the Raiders. It goes against Donald Penn.
Donald Penn, can't see him on that look with right there. Just a good, solid, safe start to that drive. At the top of your screen right there, Donald Penn, when he gets beat,
Yep.
back to the inside, he tried to protect his quarterback, kick that heel up. They will call that. That's a dangerous play for a defensive lineman coming underneath.
He was called for unnecessary roughness last week in the win against Jacksonville. It backs up the Raiders to the 7-yard line. Carr to Cooper. And Cooper is shoved out by Conti. It'll be second down.
And this, once again, is just a short pass that the Raiders hope Cooper can turn into something longer, but gets back all of the penalty yards plus a couple. That's just, they're going to continue to do that. I mean, Carr completes almost 70% of his passes, and a lot of it has to do with their confidence in those wideouts' ability to catch a short one and make it into a long one. It's a big part of their offense.
And that completion puts Cooper over 100 yards for the 4th time this year. He's got 101 through the air. And now Carr calls timeout with 2:12 to go in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 8 when we come back. Well, let's pick your poison against Cooper and Crabtree. Last week, Jacksonville shut down Cooper, limiting him to 4 catches, while Crabtree had 8 for 96. Today, it's Cooper having the big day, 7 for 101. Crabtree with just 2 catches, but as Derek Carr said, it's kind of tough to defend us when we have 2 number 1 wide receivers. Following the timeout, 2nd and 8. Carr incomplete, looking for Crabtree, but a flag comes in. And Tampa Bay indicating this is against Oakland.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense number 74. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Second penalty today on the rookie, Vidal Alexander.
Right up here. Playing left tackle. Came in as an extra offensive lineman on that play outside Donald Penn, the original left tackle. Now he stands on the sideline. That was a heavy package for extra protection for Carr. I don't know that I would have accepted that penalty. I think I would have given him 1 down to make 8 yards rather than 2 downs to make 16, 17.
Carr to Roberts, and he's crunched. Quan Alexander hit Roberts as he tried to bring it in, and now 3rd and long for the Raiders.
It's a nice job by the defense. They sniffed this out. You're going to go for like they've been doing down inside their own 20-yard line. They go for the short completion and try and make something happen. And this time the Bucs were all over it, and it was a hard tackle that almost ended up in a catch, fumble, recovery, but not enough time for the receiver to come down with it.
Instead, it's 3rd and 16. Oakland is 3 for 3 this half on 3rd downs. Carr completes this one to Rivera, but he is well short of a 1st down. Levante David wraps him up, and that's a big stop for the Buccaneers on defense.
And the Buccaneers now almost guaranteed, even with Marquette King punting, they're guaranteed to get decent field position on this drive. Big 3-and-out stop by their defense.
So Marquette King from his own end zone, he already has a 67-yarder today. His season long is 72 yards. Adam Humphries awaiting the punt at his own 40-yard line. And this one is shanked by King. You don't see that very often. It does get a friendly roll, and now there is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. That's a rare misfire from Marquette King, although he did get a nice hop to make it a 43-yard punt. Now let's see what the penalty is.
I don't think
an eligible man downfield on the kick. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the kick.
Yeah.
1st down.
Goes on the rookie, Corey James. Well, Saturday, it's a CBS college football triple threat. First, the Fighting Irish rumble with the middies of Navy. Then, Florida and Arkansas in prime time. The Crimson take on the LSU Tigers in Death Valley. A triple header Saturday on CBS. And, of course, Jack Del Rio saw some SEC football yesterday, flying up to Jacksonville to see his son, Luke, lead the Florida Gators to a 24-10 win over Georgia. Luke, 15-25, 131 yards, a touchdown pass, and an interception. Good field position for Tampa Bay. Jacquizz Rodgers is stopped at the line.
A totally different defense this half for the Oakland Raiders. They have really stepped up their game, particularly in the run game. We've seen Jacquizz Rodgers break a couple early in the first half, and their running game was working pretty well, it seemed like. Now in the second half, the Raiders have made some adjustments, and their run gaps, their run fits have been perfect.
Tampa Bay rushed for 249 last week. Today they have just 77 yards on the ground. Play action. Winston steps up, fires, and completes it to Humphries. Humphries still going inside the 20, 10, and he's caught at the 5. Great job after the catch by Adam Humphries, a gain of 42.
Well, you're going to see Humphries coming in from your left side. You see Jameis Winston, nice hard play action pass. He had his inside receiver running an in route as well. That was his first read. They jumped it. Humphries wide open coming behind it. Brilliant play that they needed right now.
That's the end of the third. Raiders lead by 7. Start of the fourth quarter in Tampa with Steve Berline, Steve Tasker, Chris Fisher. I'm Andrew Catalon, our entire NFL on CBS crew. Great Week 8 matchup here. Tampa Bay down by 7, but they have it first and goal from the 5-yard line. And this year, they've scored 6 touchdowns on their 6 goal-to-go drives. One of just 3 teams perfect on the year, along with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Empty backfield for Winston on first and goal. Into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Cameron Brate with his 3rd touchdown of the year. And now 7 for 7 in goal-to-go situations this year for the Buccaneers.
Well, Brate did a nice job. They saw the matchup. They had exactly what they wanted. They had Brate on Malcolm Smith, a linebacker. Almost an unfair matchup that close to the end zone. And the way that the Raiders played it, Brate did a nice job of getting some width, being patient, and giving Jameis Winston a big area to put that football on him.
Quite a drive by Tampa Bay, and now the rookie Aguayo out for the extra point to tie things at 17. And that one is no good. Roberto Aguayo misses an extra point for the 2nd time this season. Tampa Bay took him in the 2nd round, and he has struggled this year, and here's the boos from the Buccaneers fans.
Well, we spoke to him on Friday on the practice field. He seemed to have a good handle on what was going on with his motion. And he says it's just frustrating for him. He's the most accurate kicker in college, and he says it's frustrating when you kick that ball and it's not going where you're aiming. And certainly this early part of his career, that's got to be really frustrating for a guy who probably more than any point in his career, both college and of course the pros, have never felt as much pressure he has when he's not kicking.
Well, it's a 2nd-round draft choice, a big investment by the organization, and as I like to say, it's a mental thing, and it's something that he's got to get over. He's got to get out of his own way, out of his own head. Obviously a very talented player to be that highly drafted and regarded, but shoot, he's got to get out of the way.
7th missed kick by Aguayo this year. 5 field goals, 2 extra points. And Tampa Bay now down by 1 with Aguayo kicking it off. Richard on the return. Richard across the 20 and up to the 25-yard line. There is a flag down at the 15. Terry McCauley has been busy today. 18 accepted penalties in this game, 13 committed by the
There's
Raiders.
no foul for offensive holding during return. First down.
Except there won't be one here. Let's go down to Chris Fisher.
Thanks, Andrew. Prior to the game, Roberto Aguayo was seen out on the field with a notebook. I asked him what he was doing. He said he was plotting the field, figuring out where divots were and where creases were in the field. He says it was no different than a PGA Tour golfer going out during a practice round and figuring out the lay of the land of the course. So far, obviously, it hasn't worked out too well for him.
They misread the green on that extra point, and that's all too common for Buccaneers fans this year out of their second-round pick. 1st and 10. And it's Johnny Holton who's got some speed. And Holton to the 27. We go back to New York, an NFL Today update with JB and Bart Scott.
A key play, a 15-yard run by Tom Brady.
Yeah, we saw him warming up before the game, but Tom Brady is going to go, and LeGarrette Blount takes it in for the 1-yard score. But look at the old man rumble. He's looking back. Oh, that is beautiful right there. Tom Brady, he does it all.
Steve Berline definitely was quicker than that. Back to Andrew Catalan.
I don't know about that, JB. We'll have to get the next-gen stats for the speed of Berline.
There is no way.
I wouldn't even try to convince you all of that one. I wouldn't even bluff my way through that one.
Lucky he can walk up into the booth these days. Carr to Cooper. Nice cut back at the 30, and Cooper across the 35-yard line.
Well, you know,
Gain of 10.
we talked to Mike Smith, the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, and he told us point blank that he thought that Crabtree was the #1 threat they had to contend with. So it basically told us that Amari Cooper was going to get a chance to make some plays. Amari Cooper stepping up, and I really think he's in Hargrave's head a little bit. This goes back to college. Hargraves, I think, really doesn't trust himself against Amari Cooper at this point.
And on this play, Cooper up top matched up with Brent Grimes. 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Richard, and he surges up to the 42-yard line. McDougald on the tackle and some extracurricular down on the field, some pushing and shoving.
The offensive line of the Raiders is really starting to get a push on now. They came out of halftime and scored 2 quick touchdowns on 2 really impressive drives. Now that offensive line, they're just firing out. They're double teaming down on the inside, and they're just letting the back pick his way up for a nice little 6-yard gain on 1st down. If they can continue to do that, you know, the Buccaneers turn into a defenseless team.
Back to Richard. And he's going to be about a half-yard shy of a 1st down. 4th carry for Jalen Richard. He had a combined 5 carries in the last 2 games. His offensive coordinator, Bill Musgrave, continues to rotate his backs. Murray is still the workhorse in the backfield for Oakland, and he comes back into the game. But the rookies, Richard and Washington, have provided a nice different dimension for the Oakland offense this year.
Now, you say that Latavius Murray's the workhorse, but he really doesn't get as much work, I think, as he should. He only had 58 carries coming into this game on the season. He was bumped up a little bit for a couple weeks, but not truly.
And Murray on 3rd and 1, and he falls forward for the 1st down. He did have a season-high 18 carries last week. And for Murray, that's his 9th carry of the day.
Yeah, that's a tough short yardage play to stop if you're the Buccaneers. That angle coming out, when the back comes out, running at the angle off tackle to the outside, and even if you get a good shot on him, you know, the momentum carries the ball carrier forward a half a yard or a yard, and that's all the Raiders needed. 2 solid runs to get to that point, and then the 3rd run of the drive gets them their 1st down.
Extra offensive lineman on 1st and 10. There's only 2 on the play clock. Carr takes the snap. He's looking to throw. On the run, it's broken up. Intended for Clyde Wolford, and the safety McDougald, who's been very active today, got a hand on that one.
Yeah, Derek Carr's rhythm a little bit off on that one because he got pressure after coming out of the play action fake. You see him stepping up there in the pocket. Wolford had about a half a step on Bradley McDougald, but the ball was not thrown on time. because of that pressure. Carr would like to have another shot at that.
8 tackles for McDougald. And the one pass breakup, which just occurred on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Inside 11 minutes to go. Raiders lead by 1 thanks to a missed extra point by Roberto Aguayo. Carr on the move. Carr throws on the run. And that's caught by Crabtree. And he's got an Oakland first down. 3rd catch today for Michael Crabtree. And Brent Grimes makes the tackle.
Oh, we spoke to Adam Shine on that other pregame show, and he asked us why Crabtree's such a special combination with Carr. That's the reason right there. Coming back and making a hard catch, plucking it out of the air. His ability to make those tough catches in traffic, and that wasn't even as tough a one as we've seen him make. But that's been the reason Carr all of a sudden has 2 guys that he's throwing the football to equally, and it's why the defenses the Raiders play have such problems.
What's up? Back on the ground. And it's Washington with a minimal gain. Well, Dirk Cutter spent 3 years as the offensive coordinator in Atlanta. And he said that Cooper and Crabtree remind him of Julio Jones and Roddy White when he was with the Falcons, when Roddy White was really in his prime. And Cutter joked, thankfully they don't have Tony Gonzalez like we had. We have Tony Gonzalez now at CBS. But the point of the matter is Cooper and Crabtree, one of the best duos in the NFL. They lead the league in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. 2nd and 10. They fake the end around and a screen to Richard, and Richard in trouble, and he is tackled for a loss. Great job of containment by the Tampa Bay defense. It's 3rd down.
That was a nice job by Akeem Spence, number 97. There's a lot going on this play. And you see right there, Spence sniffed out the screen pass, was able to get through that wall of offensive linemen for the Raiders and make the first hit. Gerald McCoy was the one coming up the middle, getting a little bit of pressure on Carr as he came out of that play-action fake.
Let's see what the Raiders do here. They try to go for it all and maybe just get half the yardage so they get in Janikowski field goal range. 3rd and 13. Carr looking for the big one, and it's incomplete. Over the head of Crabtree. And from there, it would be a 60-yard field goal, and they send out the punter, Marquette King. And Amari Cooper on the other side had separation from Grimes. Carr looking for Crabtree instead.
Now the true one-on-one coverage was to Crabtree. Grimes had help over the top on that play. On the replay, it looks like he's wide open, but the read took Derek Carr to the one-on-one coverage.
King punting to Humphries, trying to pin him deep. And that one out of bounds. Let's see where they come up to mark it. At the 18-yard line, that's where Tampa Bay will go back on offense with 8:33 to go. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS turns a double play. First, the Steelers roughhouse with the rival Ravens, and then the Colts battle the Packers. Check your local listings. It all begins with JB, Boomer, Tony, Coach, and Bart on the NFL Today. 8:33 to go in the 4th. Tampa Bay with the ball down by 1. They start this drive on the ground with Anton Smith, and he gets a couple yards on the play. You have to wonder about the confidence in Roberto Aguayo by Dirk Cutter. If it comes down to a big kick, will he send him out there? How comfortable? What range will he send him out? We specifically asked Cutter on Friday, what is the deepest you'll send out Aguayo for a kick? He said 55 yards, but keep in mind he did miss the field of the extra point from 33 earlier in the quarter. Humphries nearly with a one-handed catch.
But on that note, Andrew, you know, you look at it, and Cutter also responded to us and said, I'm going to send him out there if the situation calls for a field goal. But you know, we can't.
He's got no choice.
He's got to. Yeah.
He's got no choice. I mean, that's the thing. If you're in college, you got 4 kickers. You just switch them out. I mean, you've got one, and if you get to the point where you've got to send the guy out there. I don't care if he's 0 for 5. That's the only choice you have in the NFL.
Focus right now for Tampa Bay is on this 3rd down and 7. They're 4 for 10 on 3rd downs. Winston fires, broken up by T.J. Carey, and a flag comes in.
I think that's a bad call. I thought that was a great play by Carey. Unless it was, it might have been after the fact. This might go against Carl Joseph after the catch.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 42. Illegal contact in the head of a defensive player. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's exactly what it is on Joseph, and Russell Shepard, the injured Buccaneer, is still down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Auto Trader. Find your perfect new, used, or certified car on Auto Trader. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Back in Tampa, good news as Russell Shepard was able to walk off under his own power. Another look at the hit by Carl Joseph.
Now this is a rookie, first-round draft choice. You see coming in right there. There's no doubt about it. In college, I believe he would have been kicked out of the game for targeting, coming in with his head on the defenseless receiver.
It gives Tampa Bay a first down. Winston loading up deep for Mike Evans, incomplete. That's the first time that Evans has been targeted since midway through the second quarter.
And Jameis Winston wants this one back. Evans had it over the top, just inches. That's a play in a situation like this. You just don't get many chances to make those big plays. You got to find a way to give him a chance to make that catch.
Just 3 catches today for Mike Evans. He averages just under 7 per game, which is 3rd best in the NFL. 7:44 to go. It's 2nd and 10. Winston back to the air. Screen pass to Rodgers across the 40. And Rodgers falls up to the 45-yard line. It will be 3rd and short for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this is a nice delayed screen as Rodgers comes in, then just turns around. Perfect play for a guy like Rodgers, who is so elusive in tight spaces. That's why he loves running inside the tackles. Not only does he not mind the contact, he's really good at making guys miss in tight spaces. The perfect play selection for him. It almost turned into a bigger play than it was. Leaves him with a 3rd and 1.
And a flag comes in.
Raiders have got like 15 guys on the field.
That would be illegal.
I'm pretty sure it is. I might be exaggerating.
Defense, 12 men in formation. 5-yard penalty. The foul occurred prior to the timeout request. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another first down given to Tampa Bay on this drive because of a penalty.
They still have 12 on the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just one walking off now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th guy.
And Dan Williams, number 90, just walking off right now. He didn't seem too excited to get off the field either. But you can't play with 12 any way you slice it.
A season high, 15 penalties now for the Oakland Raiders. 4th time that one of their penalties has given Tampa Bay a first down. Jameis dumps it down to his tight end Stocker. And Stocker has another Tampa first down. Darius Latham on the tackle.
This is an excellent job by Stocker. Everybody goes down the hard play action. He just kind of comes out and just turns around. Just makes himself available. Lets Winston look down, try and get the big play look. If it doesn't happen, just finds the dead spot in the Raider pursuit and gets a nice little first down catch. Perfect job by Stocker.
And Russell Shepard is back in the game. A great sign there for Tampa Bay with 6:15 to go. Winston looking deep, and it's incomplete, but a flag is down. He was trying to find Shepard. And another penalty coming against the Raiders.
It'd be illegal contact.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. Automatic first down.
As Shepard was running a double move, and Hayden bid on it. And very smart play, actually, by Hayden to take the penalty. And the bottom line is that saved the touchdown.
Well, I don't know, but if it saved the touchdown or not, but I know this: Jameis Winston has overthrown receivers all day long on the deep ball. And you got to wonder, too, we talked to them. They were really upset about the wind this week. They couldn't throw deep in practice all week. Maybe that's a sign they didn't get enough work on it.
11 incompletions today for Winston, but another penalty gives Tampa Bay a first down. Winston is able to complete this one. It goes to Shepard, who receives a nice hand from the Tampa Bay fans.
But, you know, going back to that play, though, that it didn't matter where the ball was thrown. That DJ Hayden hit Russell Shepard and knocked him off his route because he was beat on a double move.
While the ball was in the air.
Yeah, the ball, it was beat. You know, there's no way he could have gotten there to make that catch.
No, even if it comes worse, tackle the guy, because you can't let it take the chance it's going to be a touchdown.
5.5 to go, fourth quarter. Second down and 5. It's Rodgers trying to reverse field, extra effort, and he's right near the chains. So, if you're Dirk Cutter, in terms of your play calling here, I think you got to be a little more aggressive, knowing that Aguayo has struggled this year and has already missed an extra point. For example, if it's 3rd and 1 and he gets stopped on 4th and 1, you would think this is a gimme field goal, but nothing's been a gimme for Aguayo this year.
Well, but I think in Dirk Cutter's mind, he would challenge himself to think as a head coach should about situational football. You can't let the emotion get into it. You got to make the call that your gut is telling you is the right call.
Raiders.
Illegal substitution. Defense 12-man formation.
Just amazing.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Unbelievable. Another Raiders penalty gives Tampa Bay a first down.
That's the 3rd one on this drive.
Yeah, it's Justin Ellis and Dan Williams have been rotating a defensive tackle all day, and they're trying to do that because of the heat and exhaustion and staying out there. Those big, heavy guys rotate in and out, and they just get caught, both of them, on the field at the same time.
150 yards in penalties, the most in the NFL this season. It's 1st and goal. Winston. Chased by Mack, keeps it himself. Winston takes a shot, and he's down at the 1-yard line. Perry Riley made the big hit, but it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
I'll tell you what, Jameis Winston took an enormous hit here. You could hear it all the way up here, live action. And when the quarterback runs, he might want to get in, but I'll tell you what, when quarterbacks run with it, Steve Berline, you know it, they aren't wearing a helmet, they're wearing a target.
Yeah, they are wearing, and Dirk Cutter does not want Jameis Winston taking many hits like that. That will end his season, one of those hits.
Jaquiz Rodgers is the running back. He has not scored a touchdown in more than 2 years. He gets the call on 2nd and goal. Rodgers is in! Touchdown, Tampa Bay! His first touchdown since week 1 of the 2014 season when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. And now Dirk Cutter will keep his offense on the field. Go for 2.
Well, Jaquiz Rodgers showing that he does know how to sniff out that end zone, despite the fact that it's been so long since he's been in the end zone on a running play. Just trusting his blockers up front behind Donovan Smith and Kevin Pamphile. Super job up front.
So now they go for 2, try to make it a 7-point lead. They're 1 for 3 on 2-point conversions this year. Winston in trouble, throws, caught! Mike Evans brings in the 2-point conversion. And with 3:48 to go, it's a 7-point Tampa Bay lead. Winston appeared to be in trouble. Great improv. Bucks in front. On that last Tampa Bay scoring drive, they had 38 yards of offense. The Raiders were penalized for 44 yards. And 3 times on that drive, an Oakland penalty gave Tampa Bay a first down. 6 times today, that's happened. The Raiders have been penalized 17 times for 150 yards. And they will start this drive at the 25-yard line. 3:48 to go and 2 timeouts. Remember, Derek Carr had to call a timeout back in the 3rd quarter when Oakland was on offense.
You know what's amazing, too, Andrew, about those penalties that you're talking about? A lot of times in a game like this, it's a lot of holding penalties, judgment type of calls where you can actually debate whether it was a penalty or not. Jack Del Rio has not fought one of these penalties. They've all been very clear infractions and all very painful for the Raiders.
Loudest the crowd has been. 1st and 10. Carr has good protection. Now on the move. Throws on the run behind Crabtree. Oh, if that throw was towards the middle of the field instead of the sideline, that could have been a big pickup for the Raiders.
Yeah, this looked like it could have been actually a touchdown. If he just lobs it down the sideline, your watch, Carr's going to break contain to his right. Watch where this throw goes and where it should have gone. It should have looked right out here is where he should have thrown that ball with a little arc on it. Crabtree's gone.
Little touch. That you're exactly right.
Second and 10, Carr to Seth Roberts, takes a shot, but picks up a first down at the 40-yard line. Quan Alexander makes the tackle. Something to keep in mind as you take another look at the completion. You go back to week 1, when the Raiders were in New Orleans. Jack Del Rio has been very aggressive this year on the two-point conversion. He went for the win as Carr loads up, taking a deep shot, and incomplete. Back in week 1, an extra point would have tied the game in New Orleans. Instead, Del Rio went for 2 and the win. Carr to Crabtree, and the Raiders won it. Would he do it again today if Oakland can march down the field and score a touchdown?
Today, I would be surprised if that were to happen with Jack Del Rio. Their team is sitting in really good position at 5-2. If they have a chance to tie this ball game up, I think he'll probably let it go to overtime.
Oh, a lot of zip on that fastball. Complete to Walford into Tampa Bay territory. A gain of 17.
At this point of the game, if you look back across this season, this is when the Raiders have been really clutch. They go into Baltimore, had a late touchdown. The two-point conversion that we just saw gave them a win. They have been good at this point. It's all centered around Derek Carr.
No huddle for Oakland on first down. Carr to Cooper. What a catch! Amari Cooper inside the 15, a gain of 31.
You know, I am almost at the point with what I've seen out of Derek Carr this year and to this point in his career where in this situation, there aren't many guys I'd want ahead of him. He just steps up and makes throw after throw after throw. Just another testament to the player this kid is becoming.
A career high 142 yards receiving for Amari Cooper. 1st and 10 from the 12. Carr to Roberts. Did he get feet in? No. Made the catch, but did not get the feet in, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It will be second down when we come back. Raiders nearly tied it, but Roberts could not get the feet down. 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Oakland with 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. They trail by 7. Carr looking end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Crabtree. Conti and Grimes on the coverage. It's 3rd and 10.
Now this one where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Derek Carr on that one. He thought he had coverage, single coverage, where Crabtree was going to have a lane inside, but he didn't realize that Conti was sniffing that out as well. That was going to be a painful catch for Crabtree if he pulled that thing in.
Crabtree has been targeted 10 times today, but he only has 3 catches. Oakland needs to get to the 2-yard line for a first down. Carr, and that pass is juggled and caught by Amari Cooper. What a great job by Cooper to bring that in, but it's short of a first down.
Doesn't matter, it's 4-down territory. It does set them up for a 4th and short, but they've got to keep their offense on the field, and I think that's a good call by the officials.
Great job by Cooper.
No doubt.
Who now has 10 catches for 149 yards, a career high. But it is 4th down and 3. Oakland this year is 3 for 6 on 4th downs. Empty backfield. Carr, pump fakes, has time. Carr, incomplete, but there is a flag down. And Seth Roberts is indicating this is against Tampa Bay, and it is.
Yeah, they're going to get
Prior to the pass,
Barima.
holding, defense number 38. Half distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, of all the penalties that the Raiders have taken today, the most crushing one of all is the one the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just got. They had him stop. This meant the ball game right here. If they can make this 4th down stop.
Right here is where Roberts is, and I.J. Bajima right there. You can see him wrapping his hands around him. No doubt was restricting him from getting any separation. Totally away from the play, but they're going to call that every time.
So 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
Might look for a run.
Olawale is the running back.
Yeah, you want to use clock here, too, if you're the Raiders.
They hand it off to Olawale, and before a flag comes in.
This is going to be on the offense.
Yep, they jumped.
What are you doing? You've been doing this all day, and when it comes down where you got a chance to win the game on one play, you can't hold your water?
False start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That is inexcusable. That's on the center, Rodney Hudson.
Second time today, Oakland's been called for a penalty inside the 5-yard line.
Hard to call on the center. No,
Everybody.
It was Austin Howard again. Center didn't do anything. That was a mistake by the officials. It was right tackle Austin Howard.
So that pushes him back to the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. Carr has time, fires, caught, touchdown! Michael Rivera, his first touchdown of the season, and Jack Del Rio will send out Janikowski for the extra point to tie the game. Remember, earlier this year, went for 2 in the win against New Orleans. Right now, playing for the tie against Tampa Bay.
What a catch. And throw.
What a drive. What a drive by Derek Carr. They went no huddle, and they scored 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, and then kind of fumbled around, penalized themselves all over the place on a drive that they had to have, went the distance inside the 2-minute. Wow.
First touchdown for Rivera since last December against Denver. Janikowski has not missed an extra point this year. He did miss one last year. And that one is right down Broadway. With 1:38 to go, we are tied at 24. Carr, his 3rd touchdown pass of the game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Try the new Autumn Carb Turkey Sandwich today. And by the redesigned 2017 Kia Forte.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower have all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Already one tie today between Washington and Cincinnati over in London. We are tied with 1:38 to go. Janikowski kicks it away to Smith, who will take a knee. So Tampa Bay will start at the 25-yard line. They have 3 timeouts remaining. As you get caught up to date with some of the numbers in this one, 420 yards of total offense for Oakland, but the penalties have absolutely killed the Raiders today. 18 for 155. Tampa Bay has not won a home game this year. They've lost 15 of their last 18 games at home.
And they have not had a winning record after 7 games into a season since 2011. So a lot of reasons for them to fight hard for this one.
A handoff on first down. And Rodgers picks up a couple. If you're just joining us, Roberto Aguayo is the rookie kicker for Tampa Bay. He has struggled this year, missing 5 field goals, and in this game, he missed an extra point. And Tampa Bay in no rush here with the clock ticking and 1:15 to go. Winston, incomplete, looking for Evans. That stops the clock.
For the viewers too, Andrew, you talked about missing the extra point. The Buccaneers were fortunate to make up for it by getting the 2-point conversion on a touchdown a little bit later in the ball game. So the missed extra point has not cost them to this point.
Dirk Cutter told us that Aguayo's range is from 55. 1:06 to play. It's 3rd and 7. Winston fires, and Evans cannot hold on. Incomplete. That stops the clock with a minute to go, so the Raiders will get the ball back with 2 timeouts.
Well, Carl Joseph almost got carried away with this hit here as well. Again, you see him coming in head-to-head on a defenseless receiver. That could have been called. The head is down right into the back of Mike Evans' head.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
That should be a penalty.
So Brian Anger comes out to punt. You got to give credit to this Raiders defense. Last in the NFL in yards allowed, averaging 430 per game. Today they've only allowed 258 to Tampa Bay. And their defense will give their offense another chance here late in the 4th quarter. Richard from his own 25. Richard trying to get into the outside. He's got some room. Richard out of bounds at the 45-yard line. We've talked a lot about Aguayo. How about the kicker on the other side, Sebastian Janikowski, playing in his 260th career game. No kicker has made more field goals of 50 or more yards in NFL history than Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah, you think Jack Del Rio has any qualms about sending that guy out there?
He looks pretty stressed to me, doesn't he?
Yeah, you talk about Aguayo struggled his rookie year. Nobody struggled any more than Janikowski did his rookie year. I think he got it together.
Janikowski did miss 10 field goals his rookie year. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Carr to Crabtree. Into Tampa Bay territory and down at the 45. Jack Del Rio has 2 timeouts. Instead, Oakland will hustle to the line. .25 seconds to go. Carr just throws this one down, and a lot of time came off the clock. They do have 2 timeouts, but just 17 seconds remain.
All they need is 10 yards to comfortably get Janikowski inside of 55. That, I think 10 yards gets him at the 35-yard. That's a 53-yard kick.
They're going into the wind in this direction,
That's
so they
true.
may want to get an extra 5, and that wind's gonna hurt this kick a lot. So they want to get as much as they can, but they'll send him out no matter what.
And now Dirk Cutter of Tampa Bay has called a timeout. With 17 seconds to go, Tampa Bay has 2 timeouts remaining. This Oakland Raiders team is 5-2 this year. Their point differential on the season is +6. As we said in our open, some of their numbers aren't pretty, but they find ways to win. And as Derek Carr told us last night, last year we were learning how to compete. This year we're learning how to win. And he's got his Raiders team in position to win again if he can get a few extra yards for Sebastian Janikowski.
And one of the things, and we spoke about it in the open, one of the things, the Raiders are getting better every week. Certainly defensively today, they played much better. Offensively, they've continued to score points. But if they can get rid of the penalties that have plagued them, particularly in this game, this is a team that can contend and beat anybody in the NFL.
2nd and 10. Carr down the sideline for Cooper. He dropped it. Amari Cooper with just his 2nd drop of the season. He did have 10 last year, and that's a big one in crunch time.
Well, that ball should have been caught by Amari Cooper, no doubt about it. Derek Carr had an easier route to throw. He had Seth Roberts running across the field, uncovered as well underneath, which would have been a big gain and giving them a chance to get well within field goal range as well. But that doesn't minimize the fact that Cooper's got to make that catch.
It would be a 63-yard field goal from here. 3rd and 10. Carr steps up. He's going to keep it himself. Carr inside the 40. Gets out of bounds. He's got a first down with 4 seconds to go. And that will send out Janikowski for the game-winning field goal attempt.
What an unbelievably timed run by a quarterback. Knew where he was going to get. Got out of bounds. It could not have gone better unless he'd kept running up the field. Perfect getting out of bounds, getting inside the 35, sets up Janikowski for a 50, and nobody's made more field goals in their career from 50-plus than this guy.
This is from 50 on the number. He's 3 for 6 from 50 yards or longer this year, and Dirk Cutter will have him think about it a little bit longer. Derek Carr with a season-long 13-yard run. Big play on 3rd down.
I think it's a mistake to try and ice Sebastian Janikowski. Veteran kickers hope that the other quarterback, the other coach calls a timeout. It just gives their protection a second, extra few seconds to get settled.
Well,
make sure they don't have.
It also takes the doubt out. Now you don't have to wonder on this kick if they're going to call a timeout. If you kick it the first time, you're wondering, are they going to call a timeout or not?
I think it's an enormous mistake to try and ice Janikowski. He's hoping that you give him that extra time, make sure he's got the spot, make sure his guys are ready to relax. They were coming out there trying to do this and get this on a play clock. Now that's all taken away, and Janikowski can relax and swing through.
55 field goals of 50 yards or longer in his career, the most in NFL history. One more would give the Raiders a win, and this one is no good! Janikowski misses, and we're going to overtime. Good snap, good hold. The kick, no good.
Well, he caught it. He caught it pretty clean, too. He just put it out there on that left side a little bit. I don't know if he was trying to, it's hard to tell which way the wind is blowing.
That's exactly where the wind's blowing. It's coming in right off the pirate ship.
You know, Steve Tasker, you might have more insight on this than anyone as a special teams guy, but during that whole drive for Oakland, Janikowski wasn't kicking into a net. He was not practicing at all. He was just standing there watching.
Who has the most 50-plus yard field goals in the history of the NFL? He never does that.
And I'll tell you what, look at that. He's not sweating it either. He's wiping the sweat off, but I'm telling you right now,
First team to score wins unless
the wind had more to do with that kick.
If they do that, then the other team will have a chance to possess. If they don't score, game is over. If they score a field goal, we'll continue. If they score a touchdown, the game is over. Any questions? All right, good. Same coin, heads, tails, heads is the call. It is heads, you want the ball? Okay.
The Raiders win the toss.
Will receive.
They will take the ball. Another look at Sebastian Janikowski, not able to put another win in the column for the Raiders. Back in Tampa, a reminder of the regular season overtime rules, 1 15-minute quarter. Raiders have taken the ball. If they go down and score a touchdown, the game is over. Or if Tampa Bay's defense on this first drive gets a safety, the game is over. 2 timeouts per team, no coaches' challenges, booth reviews only. Derek Carr has thrown for 350 yards today. His career high is 351. Oakland has won 5 straight overtime games. That's the longest active streak in the NFL, yet none of them have come this year. And Oakland will start at the 25-yard line.
You know, Derek Carr coming into this game, 45 touchdowns since the beginning of last season. Only 2 guys in the NFL have thrown for more since the beginning of last season. That's 2 guys you may have heard of, Drew Brees and Matt Stafford for Detroit. Pretty good company he's keeping, and just showing no signs of slowing down this week as well.
Latavius Murray is the running back for Oakland on 1st down and 10.
What's up?
Carr to the air on first down to Murray out of the backfield, slips, and out of bounds. Don't forget, coming up, Subway postgame show. Join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. That completion of Murray has now set a new career high for Derek Carr. He's got 356 yards passing to go along with 3 touchdowns today. A gain of 6, it's 2nd and 4. Murray. And he is thrown down after a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and short for the Raiders.
It's always interesting going into overtime because a team like the Raiders just did went on a 2-minute, a hectic, no huddle, fast-paced offensive drive to get to overtime. And then once overtime starts, you can go back, relax, play your offense, run the football, take your time. And a lot of fans get caught up in that hectic, fast pace. They expect overtime to be like that, and it's not, because your whole offense opens up and you go back to your regular game plan.
3rd and 2. Oakland 6 for 14 on 3rd down conversions today. Carr looking for Crabtree, makes the catch, slips a tackle. Crabtree into Tampa territory, cuts back. Nobody touched him, and now he's down at the 22-yard line. Michael Crabtree with a huge play for the Raiders, a gain of 45.
He is so physical on this route.
And Hargraves has not done a good job tackling on the outside all day. Right there, another example. That should have been about a 10-yard gain when the catch was made, but Hargraves, bad angle, tried to arm tackle a big wide receiver and paid the price right there.
5 catches, 86 yards for Crabtree. He'll get a breather after that big play. If Oakland scores a touchdown, they win the game. Carr, Cooper, stiff arm on Hargraves, and a flag comes in.
It's going to be on Cooper. He went to the head of Hargraves. They're going to call that on Cooper.
He can't do that. He head slapped Hargraves.
Yeah.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 88, blow to the head. 15-yard penalty, first down.
89.
Take a listen. What do you guys think of that call?
It's the right call.
It's the right call. You can't do that. It's like punching somebody.
They changed the rule too as far as offensive stiff arming in the last couple years. You cannot go to the head of a defensive player unless it's kind of an incidental contact thing. An intentional blow to the head of a defender, they're going to call it every time.
19 penalties against the Raiders, tied for the 2nd most in franchise history. 1st and 21. They'll hand it off to Richard up the middle of the 30. And Richard tackled at the 29 by Keith Tandy. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, the Raiders, once again, hamstrung by their own inability not to take penalties, and they've been absolutely egregious penalties at times. They took themselves out of a 1st and goal inside the 5, had to settle for a field goal after 2 consecutive penalties, dropping back outside the 20-yard line in the first half, and now they sit here in a tie ball game, and you're looking around thinking how many points and opportunities they left on the field.
Crabtree to the top of your screen, Cooper on the bottom of your screen, 2nd and 16. Carr looking deep for Crabtree. A lot of contact, incomplete, and no flags.
Incidental, yeah.
Brent Grimes on the coverage for Tampa Bay.
Grimes does a nice job of getting tangled up. Watch, he's going to turn up the field, look back for the ball, and just cut Crabtree off. That's a great defensive play. You kind of turn, you look for the football, try and make a play on the ball ostensibly, but really, and all you're doing is cutting the receiver off. But that's a great job by Grimes.
Grimes, a 10-year veteran. He bit on the first move, but knew exactly how to recover himself and get in the way of Crabtree. Smart play.
Crabtree not on the field for 3rd and 16. And a flag comes in. And a false start against the Raiders.
False start. offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's not comical. I wouldn't want to use that word, but it almost is unbelievable. The number of penalties and the way the Raiders have continually shot themselves in the foot.
You know, you look back, you think maybe having a week off in Florida, staying at a hotel, relaxing all week on the road instead of going back home, and maybe that was a sign of a little bit too relaxed atmosphere this week.
20 penalties ties a team record. On 3rd and long, Andre Holmes makes the catch, and Holmes tackled at the 35. So now Janikowski again is going to have to come out, and it'll be another field goal of longer than 50 yards.
And here's the deal. All right, he missed the last one. This one's going to be right around, what, 54 yards? 52 yards?
52 officially.
If he misses this, think about the field position now that Tampa Bay is going to get to start their drive. It's a lot of pressure. The Raiders had the ball down at the 23-yard line.
Janikowski from 52. And this one is no good. Sebastian Janikowski misses for the second time today. And now all Tampa Bay needs is a field goal to win the game.
Yeah, and that kick, if he kicks that one at the end of regulation on the same line he did in regulation, that would have made it. That one hooked off to the right for him, a left-footed kicker. The one he hit in regulation stayed straight and actually moved out to the left. So
maybe a little overcompensation.
Yeah, he overcompensated, and it cost him another miss.
Next score wins the game. Tied at 24 in overtime. Winston looking to throw on first down. Going for the home run ball to Mike Evans. Evans, it's incomplete. DJ Hayden on the coverage.
Well, I'll tell you, this is super coverage from DJ Hayden, running with one of the hottest wide receivers in the NFL. One-on-one down the field. They're arm wrestling a little bit there. Both guys trying to get the advantage. Neither one of them complained. Just a good physical play, going for that football.
Yeah, that ball fluttered in the air as well. It didn't have a good tight spiral on it.
If you're just joining us, Raiders starting cornerback Sean Smith was injured on the first play of the game, a shoulder injury, and did not return. So Hayden has played a lot more today for Oakland. Winston back to Evans, has the catch, and tackle made at the 41-yard line by Emerson. Brings up third down.
One of the things about overtime in today's rules that benefits the team that gets the ball second or starts on defense is the fact that every time they get it after that, it's 4-down territory unless you're in position to win the football game with a kick. And that's a big benefit for a team like the Buccaneers in this situation.
Third down and 5. Jaquiz Rogers will not return today because of a foot injury. Winston, quick pass to Evans, and it's incomplete. Emerson got a hand on that one. It's 4th down. Wow. And Dirk Cutter sends out his punter, Brian Anger.
Wow, that's a huge, that's a disappointment. If you're Dirk Cutter, you get the ball at the 42-yard line with a chance to ice the game. All you got to do is get into field goal range, hopefully with your young kicker you don't know, but to come out of that with a 3 and out, and put your defense right back out on the field. That is about as close to a disaster as you can have.
Richard is back deep. Anger leads the NFL in hang time this year. Another beauty, bounces and goes into the end zone. So it will be Oakland football at the 20, and now a late penalty flag is coming down at the 14-yard line.
David Emerson's down on the field. Now he finally climbs to his feet. Now
starting the kick, holding, receiving team number 25. 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the 20-yard line. First down.
And that is history now, as Oakland has its team record 21st penalty of the game.
That was Hayden, who actually stayed down looked like he was injured after the play, but he was also called for the hold. It has not been a good day for the Raiders with the penalties, a team record, and that's saying something. Remember back decades ago, this team was known for being the most penalized week in, week out, year in, year out, and to set a record of that nature today.
And they were the most penalized team again coming into this game, so it's haunted them prior to this.
1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Next score wins. Carr to Crabtree. He's got it at the 15-yard line. Hargraves on the coverage for Tampa Bay with 9:50 to go in overtime.
Yeah, you talk about Dirk Cutter punting it back to the Raiders. You know, standing over there, if you're the Buccaneers, as hard as they play, they have not stopped the Raiders offensively. The Raiders have penalized themselves or taken penalties drive after drive after drive. They've been penalized on every single one of their possessions today and have really done it to themselves.
On 2nd and 5, it's Latavius Murray up the middle to the 30 and dragged down at the 33-yard line. It was Chris Conti who may have saved the touchdown, a gain of 19.
This might be the biggest hole I have ever seen in the NFL. Look, there is nobody there. A complete lack of discipline. I don't know whether it was a formation adjustment that the Buccaneers did not make, but Murray got that ball, and there was nobody between the hashes. Just a terrible time for a breakdown defensively for the Buccaneers.
From the 34-yard line, Carr, great protection, taking a deep shot down the field. Flag is down. It's caught by Crabtree. Now another flag comes in.
Oh, he called it on the Bucs.
Grimes can't believe it, but there's also a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense number 72. Pass interference, defense, number 24. Penalties offset. First down.
Donald Penn called for the penalty on the Raiders that wipes out a 42-yard gain to Crabtree.
Yeah, I don't know. This pass interference was a tough one for me, from my perspective. He grabbed him right there, yeah. But then Crabtree was also holding him off with his arm as well. I mean, then you see the hold on the left side right there.
Yeah, Donald Penn got him. The guy gave up the hit as well.
It was Robert Ayers who drew the penalty that was called on Donald Penn. So we do it again. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Raiders trying to go 5-0 on the road for the first time since 1977. And John Madden was their head coach. Carr to Roberts. He threw into double coverage and it's incomplete.
I think there was some contact early by Conti over the top, but he was making a play on the ball.
Yeah.
He was jumping up, trying to catch the football.
That's a good no call.
Yes.
Now, Conti stayed down. That
6th-year safety out of Cal, able to stand up and walk off to the sideline.
Well, you want to look for Bill Musgrave to find out who is coming in for the starting safety of the Buccaneers and see if he's up to the task.
Bill Musgrave in his 2nd year as the Raiders offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 10, and it's Keith Tandy who comes in at safety to replace Conti. Carr, quick slant to Cooper. He's got it. Amari Cooper into Tampa Bay territory and tackled at the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you, when these two hit it on time, Cooper's like shot out of a cannon. Carr, that quick release, puts it right on him, and Cooper, if you hit him in stride on that route, it's over before you even get started.
That's why this Raider offense has been so good. I mean, Cooper is a big play threat no matter where you are in the field, and Crabtree catches absolutely everything in the vicinity. They are a tough combination.
430 passing yards for Carr, a new Raiders franchise record. On first down. It's Washington on the carry, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. We mentioned this before, but I think it's worth repeating. Amari Cooper told us last night that when he was at Alabama, he thought he was going to win every game. And he told us he's got that same feeling now with the Oakland Raiders as they try to run their record to 6-2.
And he said that he sensed that his teammates were kind of buying into it as well, which, as we all know, the culture and the expectation level really sets the table for this kind of development to happen.
Cooper at the bottom of your screen. He's got 12 catches for 173 yards. Carr over the middle to Roberts. He's got it at the 31 and shoved out of bounds. There is a flag down on the far side of the field in front of the Raiders sideline. I.J. Barima forced Roberts out, and now we await the call.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 74 reported as eligible and was covered by number 10. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, when you bring in the extra offensive lineman, as the Raiders have done all day today, playing the tight end position to try and get an advantage in the run game, it does throw a bunch of thinking into it that normally you don't have for the wide receivers, for the tight ends, although there's no excuse for it whatsoever. This is the NFL. Jack Del Rio, I think, is saying that Seth Roberts wasn't on the field or wasn't on the line of scrimmage.
Oakland has now tied an NFL record with their 22nd penalty of the game. It backs them up into their own territory. Carr, pressure. Flag is down. This could be a hold against the Raiders, and now Carr goes down.
Holding, offense number 66. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Wow, they're putting it out of reach. They're going to get the record and make sure nobody ever gets it.
That's on Gabe Jackson's second time today. He's been called for holding.
This is like Joe DiMaggio's hit streak. Nobody's ever going to come near it.
And now a wise move there by Dirk Cutter. He has declined the penalty.
Exactly, keep it to 3rd and 20.
So they're still tied for the record right now with 22 penalties as that one was declined. It's 3rd and 20 from the Oakland 44-yard line. Carr to Walford is tight end. Cuts back at the 45, and now a flag comes in from the secondary. And Seth Roberts is acting like it's on him. Walford took it down to the 41-yard line. And there's an injured Buccaneer, and it is on the Raiders.
So there's the record.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 10. 10-yard penalty, third down.
Well, interesting decision to decline that penalty. Or rather, to accept the penalty and not decline it, because it would have been 4th down.
Yeah, you're giving him another chance.
Yeah,
there's Roberts in the back. Yeah, he pushed him in the back.
2 hands in the middle of the numbers. I mean, we've said it a couple of times today. We haven't seen any, I can't remember any bad calls by these officials. They've been on it. I mean, I haven't had much of a beef with anything they have done. It's been, the Raiders have earned that record.
Andrew, where was that? Would that have been within Janikowski field goal range? Wasn't quite in the range, huh? So, yeah, I don't know why they would not decline that penalty. You're giving Derek Carr and company another chance to make the play.
I agree. That's a bad penalty accepted.
3rd down and 17. Carr to Crabtree, makes the catch at the 49, and Crabtree is tackled at the 43-yard line. So he's short of a first down, and Jack Del Rio is going to send out his punter, Marquette King. So from there, it would have been a 61-yard field goal. Janikowski has already missed twice today from just outside 50. Now, last week, there was a bad snap on a punt. Marquette King scooped it up, ran 27 yards for a first down. Humphreys back deep. King punting, trying to pin Tampa Bay deep in their own end. Bounces at the 10, and it's down right around the 10-yard line with 4:43 to go. And the Tampa Bay offense will go back on the field, only needing a field goal to win the game.
Well, it's a record-setting day for the Raiders, not only in their penalties, but Derek Carr.
443 yards passing. That is a new Raiders record. Tampa Bay will start this drive at their own 11-yard line.
566 total yards for the Raiders today.
And just 263 for Tampa Bay, yet they're tied at 24 in OT. And they start this drive on the ground. Remember, Jacquizz Rodgers out with an injury now, so it's Anton Smith on the carry. Tampa Bay has lost 15 of its last 18 home games. Have not won at home this year.
Now, Tampa Bay has only had 3 plays in this overtime period. They had the 1 3 and out. So Raiders have dominated this period.
It's Smith again. And Smith with the ball coming out. Raiders saying they have it. No signal yet.
Well, the strongest cat gets it down there, and I'm telling you, the devil himself lives at the bottom of an NFL pile, so it ain't over till they get up and separate.
And it's Tampa Bay football. Nearly a disaster by Anton Smith, playing in just his second game as a Buccaneer.
Yeah, the ball definitely came out.
Yeah, it came out.
Khalil Mack was the one who forced the fumble.
But you are right, Steve Tasso. Unfortunately, I've been on the bottom of a few of those piles, and it is not. Yeah. It is traumatic. It's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, it is. It's a bad place to be.
Smith out of the game. It's 3rd down and 3. And now Dirk Cutter calls a timeout. 1 timeout remaining for the Buccaneers. 3:35 on the clock. Jameis Winston today, 16 of 31 for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mike Evans, for the most part, has been bottled up by this Raider defense. He's got 4 catches for just 50 yards. So credit to Oakland. They've done a good job on slowing down Mike Evans today.
Ken Norton did tell us, Ken Norton Jr., the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, did tell us, Mike Evans, we will do whatever we have to do to try and take him out of the ball game. They've been pretty successful today doing that.
Evans up top on 3rd and 3. Winston off the hands of Smith and incomplete. So Brian Anger will have to come out and punt for Tampa Bay.
You got to pull it in.
That was not a good throw.
And we chronicled this earlier in the second half. Jameis Winston, when he's missed today, has missed high, and that's another one.
And he really has not found his rhythm since the first part of the ball game.
Raiders have not returned a punt for a touchdown in 8 years. Johnny Lee Higgins, the last man to do it in 2008. This is Richard, and he is crunched. Great coverage by Tampa Bay.
Well, looks like the Raiders have one last chance. Nice play.
Josh Robinson.
Josh Robinson, who, as Dirk Cutter said this week, has really set the tone as a gunner on special teams for Tampa Bay this year. Comes up with a big tackle, but Oakland will start this drive at its own 40-yard line. We've already had one tie today, Washington and Cincinnati and London. Will we have another?
And as we've documented, the Raiders have not stopped themselves today. Have not been stopped by Tampa Bay, excuse me.
Carr, and a nice catch out of the backfield by Latavius Murray, who stretches forward for a first down.
Yeah, you're right, Steve Berline. I mean, the Raiders, with the record-setting performance today in penalty column, have done everything they could to give Tampa Bay every opportunity to steal this game. And now the Raiders may take it by default if they can get another first down, and certainly if they get 2 first downs, they'll be well within Janikowski's range, even though he's missed 2 late.
You saw the note, we've never had 2 ties in 1 week of an NFL regular season. 4 on the play clock. Carr out of the shotgun. And that pass is incomplete. Amari Cooper was the target with 2:31 to play.
Well, that's one that Derek Carr definitely wants to have back. Amari Cooper, it's that same slant route they gashed Tampa Bay with on the last series. That ball should have been right on him. It was a clear pocket. Cooper had one on the outside, and it just got away from Derek Carr.
There is a 2-minute warning in overtime, so the Raiders have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts. All they need is a field goal to win the game. Carr dumps it down to Crabtree, and he makes the catch at the 42-yard line. Quan Alexander on the tackle. It's 3rd down for the Raiders.
I think if you're Jack Del Rio, you got to start thinking about this being 4-down territory with 2:14 left in overtime. Even if you get a 3rd or 4th and 3, you're going to go for it and trust your defense to get another stop.
I don't think you try and get a playoff. You let it run out to the 2-minute right now.
And that is the 2-minute warning of overtime. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Raiders when we come back to Tampa. 2 minutes to go in overtime, tied at 24 between Oakland and Tampa Bay with Steve Berline, Steve Tasker, and Chris Fisher. I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire NFL on CBS crew. What a Week 8 game this has been between the Raiders and the Buccaneers. It's 3rd down and 4 for Oakland. Sebastian Janikowski has missed 2 field goals today, 1 from 50 yards and 1 from 52.
If I'm Jack Del Rio, I want to get that football down about the 25-yard line so I can comfortably send Sebastian Janikowski out there with the way this wind is playing right now.
DeAndre Washington is the running back. Carr. And that one is incomplete. Looking for Amari Cooper on the sideline. And now what does Jack Del Rio do?
He leaves his offense out there. We said that just before the 2-minute. That might be the play. And it's going to be.
I think he's making the right play here. There are those that would say you run the risk of losing the game here by not punting the ball. But I think Jack Del Rio, at this point, you can justify going for the win. You got to try and give your kicker a chance.
And all you need is a first down. You don't even need a touchdown.
4th down and 4, and Tampa Bay has called another timeout, so they have none remaining in overtime.
Yeah, I like that timeout by Cutter as well. If you don't like the look of that, this is the play. I mean, if they pick up this first down, you're not going to get a chance to win this game.
Well, and also a timeout there forces the Raiders to probably go back and go to their second favorite play in this situation. They're not going to come out and line up exactly the way they just did because they know Tampa Bay is now going to adjust to that look. So it forces Bill Musgrave to dig a bit deeper into his bag of tricks as the offensive coordinator for the Raiders.
Jack Del Rio has been aggressive all year long. We showed you the 2-point conversion against New Orleans. He went for the win week 1. Here in overtime, going for it on 4th down and 4. Empty backfield for Carr. Carr to Roberts. He's got it. It's still on his feet. Roberts. Ball game. Raiders win. A 41-yard touchdown. And for the first time since 1977, the Oakland Raiders have started 5-0 on the road and now 6-2 overall.
What can you say on a day when they set the record for accepted penalties against them? The Raiders come in. What a great job just keeping his feet.
Bradley McDougal's got to make that tackle.
Oh,
he
no
came
doubt.
in with his shoulder. Look at number 30 right there. He's got a clean shot on right. He goes in with his shoulder, knocks his own man off the tackle.
He gave him the whole chicken wing. He just kind of flipped it out there. You got to wrap that up and pull him down, and that's a happy bunch of Raiders right there. They know they were in a deep hole that they dug themselves. Derek Carr, what a job by him. A franchise record passing yardage day.
513 yards passing for Carr, a new franchise record. As a team, Oakland has tied the record with 626 yards of offense, and they are now 8-0 when Seth Roberts catches a touchdown in his career. For Chris Fisher, Steve Berline, Steve Tasker, our entire crew, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from Tampa. Coming up, the Subway postgame show will take you back to New York for all the scores and highlights. It's all coming up right after this.